guess this season is the best season I ever had in my whole career. Everything feels pretty cool, but also everybody wants to have Eurosport.
I think she feels the pressure because I think she said once she can only lose it now.
She's strong and she knows how to win and how to manage with the pressure.
Not many people enjoy racing because there's so much pressure. You know, races are weird. Like, you need to be a bit crazy to enjoy it. I'm a racer, I want to be good and fast at every World Cup race.
If you see other girls doing it, that makes it achievable, and like in your head you see like, oh, it's actually doable, so let's do it.
There we have it, everyone. Hello and welcome to the beautiful Snowshoe, West Virginia for the UCI Downhill Mountain Bike World Cup. It's the penultimate round, but crucially, it's the only round in the USA this year. And what a track we have in store for you. There's potential of a title on the line as well, but we've got the semi-finals for the elite women to get through before we can even start to talk about that. My name is Rick McLaughlin. Joining me in the booth, Cedric Gracia. Cedric, good to be back in the States, isn't it?
Hi, how you doing, Rick?
It's uncanny, man, yeah.
So good to be back in the United States. I mean, when we all started really mountain biking, it's always a pleasure. The track is fantastic. It's going to be a little bit sleepy this morning. The last wood section still tricky. A lot of places, you know. It's going to be some time to be able to win the race or not.
Let's take a look at the schedule then today. All about downhill semi-finals getting underway, and then the elite finals from 7 o'clock Central European time today for the women and the men. Tomorrow, all about cross-country Olympic, men under 23 at 3 o'clock Central European time, running right through until elite men at 9:30 Central European time. But look, as ever, we can get to that when we get to it. It's all about the Gravity Stars today. This place has been shrouded in mist and murk and rain for 4 or 5 days, but the last couple of them, the sun's come out, mist is cleared. Yeah, humidity 75% out there, and you can hear in the background of this shot the crowd beginning to fill this place up. They go absolutely wild in the aisles here, don't they?
Yeah, it's going to be so wild. Like, I don't even know if we're going to be able to hear anything with all the vuvuzela and everything on the side of the track.
The woods here absolutely packed. Let's have a look then at the contenders for this one. Valentina Hall homing in on a title. Needs just 167 points from 3 points paying sessions to clinch the overall. Cedric and I have our abacus and calculator at the ready in the booth for this one.
I'm still bleeding, my nose still bleeding of thinking so much. I was not so good in school in mathematics.
Nina Hoffman is the woman chasing her down. Just needs to get out there and do some winning for the points that all add up. Marine Cabirou, winner last time out. The wind really in her sails at the minute. She's won here in West Virginia before, and just watching her around the paddock this weekend, she fancies doing the same today. Monica Hrasnik, by her own admission, is in the form of her career. Absolutely superb in Léger, and these awkward conditions today may just suit her. Here are those standings then. Valentina Hall has a 434-point lead ahead of Nina Hoffman. As I say, just 3 points paying sessions left to contest in 2023. So that is eminently doable. She needs 167 from today to put her out of reach of Nina Hoffman. Millie Jonset's in 11th, Jess Blewett, Farina 13th, Newkirk. Really, really good qualifying session for her yesterday. She's up in the mix today, as is Vidman. So yeah, it's, you know, all Nina Hoffman can do is really go out there and attack. And apart from trying to close in on the title with Valley Hole, she's also going to look out for Marine Cabirou behind her in the points, CG.
You're exactly right, Rick. It's going to be a tie battle for second and third, and they know that. Of course, Valley can wrap up the thing today. You know, it's going to be a tough battle. Everyone is on the A game today.
Nina Hoffman run the German headband, why not? She's been absolutely superb this season. And in a way, things are pretty straightforward for her today. Well, we're going to jump quickly to take a look at the course here. Snowshoe, West Virginia. Cedric, it's a tale of two halves, isn't it?
Well, the top part of the track, like couple of bike park corners all of a sudden, like high speed in the grass, and we jump into the first wood section. It's actually pretty fast, but after that, that's where everything is starting. The kind of a tricky wood section, slippery, rocks all over the place, steep part, really difficult dirt to deal with. It's going to be tough for the riders today.
Really, really awkward test here in Snowshoe. One of those places that no real set of tyres or suspension setup works perfectly well. You kind of want a pit stop halfway down to change bikes, don't you?
Yes. Yeah, it's always hard to figure out which tyre to use. You know, I know some people was riding with half-cut tyres, mud, and now I think they're all going to be on the dry tyres, because it doesn't matter what you put on the last wood section, it's still going to be tricky, slippery. The bike is going sideways.
Well, don't take our word for it. Here is Jackson Goldstone.
Snowshoe for the 7th round of the World Cup Series. I'm going to be taking through your course preview for this round. We've had some rain. It may look sunny, but the course has been getting pelted with rain, so it's still quite slippery. So this is only my second lap. I'm trying to figure things out still, and definitely won't be going as fast as other course previews in the past, because I don't want to end my race too soon. This big old tree jump's still in there. This section is pretty sick. All the photographers loving that section, I guess. They're all there. Ooh. And now we're into some trees, so yeah, I'm taking it super chill here, because I still haven't figured out the grip levels and how everything's running. But yeah, a few little bit of new sections here. I'm not sure, there's a triple here, but it's not on yet. I think once it dries up a little bit more, maybe some people start sending that. And we're into a rock garden here. Whoa. Whoa. And we're dropping in here. This is the steepest part of the track. Coming in heavy braking into that corner. Oh, kind of messed that up, sorry. Whoa. Like I said, this is only my second lap, so still trying to find the grip levels, because they're pretty much not there. Whoa. Whoa. I had to muscle my way through that bit. Wow, that was hard. Ooh. There's just so many rocks in this course. You gotta be so precise. Hook to flat. Okay, where do I go here? Oh my God. Well, that wasn't pretty whatsoever, but we're alive. Another gap here. Big old triple. Ooh. And we're coming into the end here. One of the straightest finish lines ever. Big old sprint to the finish. And there you go.
Yep, as always, Jackson Goldstone making it look painfully easy, Cedric.
Exactly, especially on run number 2, he already some lines dialed.
He had to clarify that, didn't he? He had to make sure that...
twice.
Yeah.
I wish I can do the same after 10 runs.
Certainly not hanging around as we see Jenna Hastings warming up the top with Marshy, her mechanic.
It's really unbelievable, like they can read the track right away like this, you know, like be able to see like 5 or 6 meters ahead, you know, and take the right decision, take this line. It's awesome.
Yeah, really, really unique conditions here in Snowshoe as well, as you saw from the course preview there. Lots of
We're
rocks.
here at the Downhill World Cup track here in Snowshoe, West Virginia. A very difficult track this year. It's slippy. It's not a great deal of line choice, but the line you choose will be critical to your overall speed. There's a lot of momentum zapping rocks here. A lot of rocks that will just destroy your wheels, your run, your time, your speed. There's a lot to consider, a lot to factor in. There is one section in particular that has a humongous effect on our overall time. The final section of trail is a massive rock garden which has a plethora of lines to choose from. What you choose at the top of the rock garden dictates the speed that you carry in the exit into the lower section and can have a humongous effect on our overall time. That's enough talking about it. Let's check it out now. As we approach the first of our major rock gardens, this one sets you up for our first major technical feature. This is about a 15-foot drop to flat to another 20-foot drop to flat into our snowshoe elevator shaft here, descending down into the woods. Look how dark that is. Adapting quickly and sharply will be key for this lower section. As it gets tighter, the track gets skinnier, the line selection is less, and this seems somewhat easy. But as these riders navigate their way through this section, there's only one line to choose from, but as they come down through this section here, they've got to maintain speed over all these rocks, backside the right rock, look for the right route to get over, the right corner to backside, the right way to pump, if they can sneak in a cheeky pedal, where they can breathe. Their arms are on fire by this stage and the rocks are relentless. We approach the final rock garden and the gnarliest section of trail. Line selection through here is crucial for your exit speed. This section has a massive effect on our overall time, and there is a line selection aplenty. You can see riders coming through in the middle section, but there's an inside line and an outside line developing. Both dictate their exit speed, both have a huge effect on our overall time. As you can see, the line they choose from the top can really affect their entry speed into the bottom, and Laurie has taken almost a bike length and a half over Jackson in the exit of our bottom corner. So their entry at the top can dictate the line they take at the bottom, and the inside line is proving to be faster. Now that might not seem like a huge difference, but in the overall scheme of things, a 100th of a second or a 1,000th of a second in time in that one section could be the difference that we see in the time by the time they reach the bottom of the track.
Well, Josh Carlson has done his homework there. This place, Cedric, it's really about exit speed, isn't it?
Exit speed, and as well to don't forget to carry this bike rolling over the rocks. It's all about timing, because if you make a mistake or, you know, like stop into a rock, you need to crank behind, and it's almost impossible in those rocks. Then, you know, you need to keep your timing, heads up, try to keep the bike rolling, and that's where you actually gain some time.
Yeah, well, let's look ahead now and see the start list for the elite women's semi-final then. Elise Empey will get us underway. The Australian, then it's Jenna Hastings, Hattie Harnden on sabbatical from enduro duties. What could she do today? Vidman, Scarzy, another enduroist. Louise Ferguson racing here for the first time. Then it's Johnset. Farina will not start, unfortunately due to a massive crash earlier in the weekend. Then it's Hemstreet. Then the big guns, Caberu, Sharna Hearn with her best ever quali, Anna Newkirk with her best ever quali, Seagrave was third, Nina Hoffman going for the title, Valentina Hall with one glove already on the title. Should be an absolute belter, so we will be going down to 10 riders for the final, plus any protected riders that finish outside of that. Some new names up in that top 10 as well.
Interesting as well to see Seagrave back in the game. You know, like she looked good in practice. She's getting confident again. We have to count on her today.
Yeah, cool to see Newkirk right up there as well. We're getting ready to go here. Elise Empey's in the Star Hawk. Look at the colours, absolutely
It's going to be tricky as well, huh? Sorry, like to enter in the woods, like if the sun is out, it's going to be a lot darker in the woods. If the sun is under the clouds, it will be a little bit easier for the transition. This is going to play a little bit of a factor today on the race. Depends if all those clouds start to go in holidays somewhere else.
They were certainly hanging around here for long enough at the start of the week. I've never seen fog like it. It was unbelievable. But yeah, unusual venue this in terms of the finish area being down the hill, the pits being at the very top, so there's a chairlift, brings riders back up to the top.
We used to have that in Palarinsal.
That's right, yeah.
At the beginning. But you see the color of the leaves, the season is changing, and
yeah, we're getting near the sharp end now, aren't we? It's the summer's drawn to an end. But Elise Empey leaves the start hut and gets us underway here in Snowshoe, West Virginia at the UCI Downhill Mountain Bike World Cup. The Australian Cedric talk us through this part of the course.
Oh! Well,
slides out on that big open section, and we know someone else who's been down there.
Exactly, I want to jump on that because apparently Valley had the crash there. Like, those corners look like pretty easy, but no, it's not. It's in the grass, it's bumpy, and not so easy to manage. Still a little bit greasy of the moist. I mean,
yeah, Valley Hole has been down there earlier on today in those same corners. As we jump back to the top, Jenna Hastings on that prototype Pivot Factory racing machine leaves the start hut, the Kiwi.
The start really important as well with those bike park corner. You need to nail that really good, but don't save energy for those jumps.
There's that big gap through the trees. It's so famous.
And here, right there, it's a big off camber into a big compression, and you're going to enter into this big forest section, high speed, couple lines and awkward corners with roots in the corners. Like, that's really hard.
It's a really busy surface, roots, rocks everywhere, and setup choices, as Josh pointed out in his place, so vital to get the exit speed on the way out of those rock sections, because you walk the track during practice and it's really, you haven't got a choice in those rocks. You've got to maintain speed, otherwise one by one they slow you down.
Exactly what you say, and those rocks, they're not lining. They're just like one on the left, one on the right, and the bike is swinging left and right, and you have to keep this, you know, together and try to keep the bike straight, don't send you off piste. Big bike park corner there. They're really hard because they're hard park and they're a little bit greasy in the morning. Do you have the moist? And this is really hard to keep the speed as well. You know, you want to crank, but as well, this is the only part you can recover a little bit before you enter in like the super critical section of the track today.
Yeah, really different set of surface conditions here.
And the leaves on the ground too. This is not friendly. Those leaves, you know, they're slippy.
Here we go then into the chunder of the bottom of this course before hitting out on this double drop. Hastings just goes to the right hand side of the first part of it.
Yeah, it's like three line. Either you jump, drop, or you go all right. You avoid the first drop, get the second one, and this is a big shoot. Like, really hard to stop the bike. It's like the clay dirt, you know. Like, you use your brake, and sometimes you feel like you accelerate, you know. Like, it's really hard to have the bike control. You need to have your heads up a little bit, aim where you want to go, and you want to be gentle on the brakes today, you know.
This place is what all the coaches bang on about, isn't it? Eyes up, look as far forward as you can, because the minute they start coming back down to what the bike's hitting, you get in trouble very quickly.
And keep that speed, you know. You see that she had the speed, the front, she lost the front, but she had the speed, and all of a sudden she got the grip again. It's a fine balance of the right speed or over speed or under speed. Really hard to do it, really. It's not so easy there.
Pivot Factory Racing player manager Bernard Kerr, he said there's no other track on the calendar that you're as busy. He said your body is moving constantly, different inputs throughout the whole run, just correcting those little tiny losses of grip everywhere.
Exactly what you say, you're always correcting. If the bike wants to swing left, you have to go right, you know, you have to let the bike go a little bit. Don't squeeze the bike too much with your knee. Let the bike fly a little bit, but don't touch the brake. Like, if you touch, really gentle.
Hastings down towards the bottom now as we head into this final wood section. A couple of big jumps in here.
Yeah, like some people are going to be that big triple, and I know two women are doing it, and it's going to be a big factor for the race. You carry a lot more speed there.
Big, fast finish straight now as Hastings comes down to the line. 24.1 seconds quicker than Empey, who did have that crash in her run, so Jenna Hastings goes into the hot seat.
Watch out, already
Valley Hole's quali time from yesterday was a 350.7. Next up in the gate then, Hattie Herndon from the UK, wearing the British national champion sleeve. She just collects national championships like no one else. I think it's 18 at the current count, 18 national titles across different formats, cyclocross, cross-country, downhill. Put Hattie on a race bike and watch her go.
Yeah, this, you know, when you exit that wood section, that little straight there, kind of flat, you need to give everything you got left in the tank. She was 1.8 on split number 4, 49.6 kilometers an hour. That was quick.
1.9 down on that time of Hastings though for Herndon, so she'll have to stand on the pedals now. 23rd the world's earlier this season in Fort William. Herndon down the line at a 4:01.2, just 2.3 seconds behind Jenna Hastings.
Lose a little bit more time after that wood section, that flat section. You have to give everything you have on those pedals.
Veronica Widman then, the Continental Nukeproof Factory racing star, and what a time of it Continental Nukeproof are having here in Snowshoe. Absolutely loving this place. Louise Ferguson, her teammate, who we'll see very shortly, racing it for the first time.
Yeah, we can still see the dirt shining. That means still a little bit slippery.
Oh, full commitment there from Widman.
Yeah, going straight into that berm. 1 second up on the split number 4. She was 3 down, 3. Lost of time there.
Widman across the road gap. 1 second back at the last split. Is she going to make the time off? Veronica Widman crosses the line and goes fastest by 1/100th of a second in Snowshoe, West Virginia.
And big speed, 51 kilometers an hour.
Doesn't get much faster.
She was doing great on the split number 4. She was 3 seconds down on the 3, sorry.
Yeah, the South Tyrolean, good run from her. Here is another visiting enduro rider, Gloria Scarzi. What a year she's having.
Right up tricky corner, that's what I was telling you. Like, it looked easy, but it's a lot of corner with high speed, you know? And those 2 jump, 2 step, 3 step down, and turning at the same time. Not so easy.
This is looking fast. This is looking fast. To me, it is fast. 3.4 seconds for Gloria Scarzi, the Italian on the Canyon bike.
Looking great for 51.6 kilometer on the speed trap. Oh, early on the speed position.
Tucks in early.
Here she comes.
Down the line, Gloria Scarzi goes fastest by 2.4 seconds from Veronica Widman. Italian knocks out Italian from the hot seat. Scarzi putting a run together there. Absolutely superb. Next out of the hut, Louise Ferguson racing here for the first time.
You see the bike going sideways when you're a little bit under speed, but she's still in contact on split number 3.
Half a second back.
Early,
Ferguson.
Early on the pedals. Come on, you have to crank a pedal hard, sorry. Push hard on the pedal there.
We will take 10 plus protected fruit to the finals later on this afternoon, but I wonder if there's a problem. Is she stuck in that gear, Ferguson? It looked like she was really pushing a heavy one there.
4.8 back, split number 4, 48.4 kilometers, under speed a little bit.
Ferguson just wondered if there is a problem with that Nukeproof. Heads down towards the line, we'll know in a second. 5.5 seconds back off Scarzi then.
Yeah, a lot of time lost there. Need to reset, go back up. Really hard to manage to run on the day, eh?
Yeah, hard to manage, but it's the name of the game. Millie Onset for Canyon Collective, the young Norwegian. Having a really good season.
Beautiful shot here from the drone, and you see like position like they're doing in skiing. Try to get the grip, calm those corners.
This is looking good to me.
It's looking great, like super good flow, carrying a lot of speed.
Fourth last time out in Leger, and she's green the whole way down. 3.2 seconds for Millie Onset.
And 52.4 kilometers an hour.
Putting herself in a really good position here in the semi-finals. Onset goes fastest. 3.9 seconds faster than Scarzi.
Yep. Well, there we are. This should be another trip of 50.
So we're still 1.5 seconds outside the fastest quality time of Valentina Hole from yesterday. But with the crash, yeah.
This afternoon.
So plenty more time still up on that hill. Gracie Hemstreet, she's been in the wars this week. Couple of big crashes in the rocks, but made a tough stuff, the young Canadian. What a season she is having. First year elite.
Really inside on the first corner there. She didn't even use the berm. Oh, I love the body position there. Really active.
Really good in the air as well, Hemstreet. The big jumps and gaps here will not face her at all, the Norco rider.
Looking good, but a little bit maybe under speed what we saw.
1.2 back, yep. Cedric's second split. Not going her way.
Different line there. She went all in the inside. It's two line there, but really important, I think, to take the outside line just to open that big corner, that berm, just waiting for you. That's your catch, basically.
Yeah, and it comes at you for some amount of time, doesn't it? Really, really difficult one to see.
But when you're in touch, like 1.2 on split number 2, you're still in touch because our wood section is key today, especially this morning, still greasy. You can see the bike a little bit going sideways, nothing to do with suspension or tire choice. You see, she's losing more time, 3.8. Just because it's slick.
3.8 back for Hemstreet then.
She looked like she's aiming the line she wants though. Confident on the lines.
Gracie Hemstreet, such a good bike rider to watch.
Yeah, that little drop to flat really hard and you across the road there. I think it will be interesting to see the people are going to squeeze 1 or 2 hard pedal there to carry more speed into the last rock section.
Yeah, we saw Ryan Pinkerton grab a couple yesterday in the midst of the absolute chaos of those rocks, and it really served him well.
Yeah, more time loss in 5.1 now on split number 4 for the Canadian, Gracie Hemstreet.
Yeah, 5 seconds back, and I haven't really seen a big problem anywhere, Cedric. It's just not gone her way.
Oh, nice one on the triple.
Massive
there.
across the triple from Hemstreet.
Woo! That was beautiful. Yeah, no, it looks good, but a little bit under speed.
It can be a deceiving track, can't it? We saw Evan Metcalf yesterday, second place, and looked like he chilled the whole way down as Hemstreet comes down the line. 5.5 back then for the Canadian. Not the run she will have wanted. We'll have to see how that stacks up. Monika Hrasnik, the Slovenian.
What can she do today?
Leaves the start hut. As we said, at the top, in the form of her life so far, but she's 5.8.
Yeah, she's back, 5.8 on split number 3.
You can see her just opening those knees up there, letting the bike move underneath her.
Well, looking pretty good there, though. Trying to carry the speed. Oh, whoa. You see the front wheel there. That's what I was talking about. Oh, a couple hard pedal there and into the road crossing. Really important to bring back the bike into the speed she wants.
Those modern downhill bikes, so low to the ground, really, really hard to grab a pedal stroke amidst all those rocks without banging a pedal. But Hrasnik, another 3 or 4 tenths have gone away from her in this semi-final, so he will take 10 through plus any protected outside of that into the finals later on this afternoon. Nearly 51 kilometers an hour. Hrasnik not doing the big triple that Hemstreet did.
50.9 kilometers an hour on the speed trap.
Hrasnik tucks in, clears that big soft hole at the bottom of that gap jump. Monika Hrasnik down the line, 4th. 6.3. You can see the leaves falling off the trees.
Well,
yeah.
it's a lot more leaves on the ground than it was yesterday.
It's got very autumnal. It's got very autumnal all of a sudden.
Just to make it a little bit more difficult.
Exactly, there's not enough going on for your eyes to see. Here is the reigning national champion of France, though, Marine Cabirou.
Oh, aggressive out of the gate. That's what we want to see from Marine. She knows she's battling for second.
The first of our protected riders, so Cabirou needs a sighting run here. She won here back in 2019. She was the only elite woman to do the big triple in the woods.
Looking good there.
Cabirou just absolutely soaking up that big win in Léger.
You see that back wheel sliding in here again and that big compression in off camber.
She was the fastest through the first 2 splits we're hearing. Let's get confirmation on that, but she's dropped. No, she's back up again, a second and a half.
She did a great bottom part of the Rock Garden.
So Cabarrou, a reminder, this is a sighting run for finals later on this afternoon. 52.2, nails the big triple.
Nice one.
Marine
Oh,
Cabarrou.
limit here on the grip. You see the body language, like the bike was sliding under her and she managed to save that.
Scott Downhill Factory Racing, heading down towards the line. Marine Cabarrou crosses the line and goes fastest in Snowshoe by 2.2 seconds from Millie on set. Cedric, what do you reckon to that?
Good, it's good. I mean, she's going for point. I mean, it's a tight battle for second and third, you know, everything you can grab today. But I know this run as well is critical, it's difficult, it's still slippery, it's going to be dry in the afternoon for the final.
Well, coming up next, we have the first of our two career besters from qualifying. Sharna Hearn for the white team up.
So good to see.
Yeah, the Australian fifth yesterday in qualifying, her best ever quali session, grown in stature as the year has gone on.
You see the different body language on the flat corner in the grass, the pedals, you know, line up like parallel instead of pushing an exit pedal. That's two different type of riding.
It's a horrible compression in that road
so
crossing
hard.
there.
I stayed there for a long time in practice and I saw a lot of people losing the grip on the back wheels. Even those corner really hard, two lines there with a big roots in the corner.
Look at her, fully committed into that rock garden, but she's 2.8 back. As I say, it can just move away from you, this track, can't it? You can just get hung up on stuff, you can hit stuff, and the bike feels like it's going slower and slower.
Yeah, one wrong hit on the wrong rock and you will lose a lot of speed. Different line here on the outside.
Medium and to the outside.
It's more simple, but more terrain as well, less compression, but it's a lot more terrain you have to cover.
Slightly more circuitous route around things for Sharna Hearn.
And this section there, it's really difficult because you like in the gully, you try to keep the speed, it's a lot of dirt, it's greasy, the corner really awkward here. With a big compression, slick like rocks, and there, this big traverse here, so hard.
Teammate Oisin O'Callaghan also with a best qualifying position yesterday in Elite Men's, 5th place for him as well. 3.4 seconds back now for Sharna Hearn.
Yeah, she need to let go of the bike now, try to carry that good speed she wants to avoid this bike going left and right.
It's very easy to say from the commentary booth.
Yeah, that's why I said. Yeah, it's just carrying a good speed there.
Sharna Hearn muscling her way down this. Really two options there on the exit of this. You can go round that tree or to the inside of it. To the inside of it's fast, but really, really tricky to get onto. Hearn on the pedals now.
Lost more time. 4.4, it's plate number 4.
It's moving away from her, this one, the Australian. Need to see how this will stack up as we head towards the finals. 51 kilometers an hour, though, good speed.
Not doing the big triple there. Early on the pedals.
Sharna Hearn then over the last big gap, heads down towards the line, and the Australian crosses it in third, so 5.5 back, but that time looking like it may well work out into a finals position. And as we see Anna Newkirk, a US national champion, leaving the Star Hut, we are joined in the booth by a former US national champion on this very track, Aaron Gwynn. Aaron, that was seamless.
We made it. I was running over. I'm a little out of breath, but yeah, man, just rode the lift up. It's a bummer to not be racing at home. The fans are already out in full force, American flags and all kinds of cool outfits. It's going to be a good day of racing, but yeah, excited for Anna here. She's had a good qualifier, looks like, and racing in front of the home crowd's always special, so hopefully she can get this thing into the finals here.
What's the latest update on the track conditions out there?
It looks good, man. I mean, it's just going to get better as it goes through the day. This place is always, there's a lot of little like natural springs in the dirt and stuff. So you run through those puddles and then drag it across the rocks, so they're slippery. But as it dries out through the day, the track's just going to get faster and faster. The open sections were, man, it's like concrete, because every night it softens up a little bit, then the riders ride over the dirt and the sun kind of bakes it in, and I was looking at some of the open sections and it's literally like concrete. Like there's no traction left.
And it's a lot of leaves now. Like, look, like more leaves on the tracks. Like,
yeah, is that just us, or has there been a load of leaves dumped on overnight?
Because it was windy this morning.
Yeah, it's that time of the year, man. Yeah, here we go. I just took a photo with, I think, the guy we saw on the live broadcast yesterday with the big sign and the hat and the whole thing.
6.4 back for Newkirk.
Trying to carry speed here. You see, like, the color of the tires, kind of a clay dirt.
It's sort of red, isn't it? It's that really sort of tricky stuff.
That big traverse, like, tell us about it. Like, how hard it is to keep the bike straight. It's swinging left and right.
Yeah, super hard. I mean, all the way through here, you can see the margin of error is so small. The race line is about 4 inches wide. There's a little natural spring in the dirt right about there. So you usually kind of run through it coming in, then you drag that mud across the rocks. This whole bottom section is really slippery, and it kind of just gets harder and harder, kind of all culminating into this last awesome flat rock garden that she's coming into right here, which is probably the hardest part of the track when you're, you know, kind of fully tired, heart rate's maxed out.
Getting across the lat line, really, really tricky. It starts so far back up the hill. Anna Newkirk last night on social media saying that she was surprised. She surprised herself with that quali performance yesterday, but it's been coming this year for her.
Yeah, lost a little bit more time on split number 4, and she was looking actually good, but it's
8.2 back on 4, yeah. 3 and 4 really is where there's a lot of time, isn't there?
Exactly. We saw it earlier. We're going to see all day today. I think you have to nail this section really good. It's really key today. But at the same time, you cannot just cruise at the top and in the middle, you know, like.
Newkirk down the line then, 3:59.7 puts her into 9th, so right on the bubble for the top 10 that are going to go through. Next up, Tani Seagrave, free to go.
She can be dangerous today.
Canyon Collective, FMD. And
she look
a rider
fast.
who spends so much of her time riding in Wales. She'll be used to the awkward lack of grip, the loose conditions, the chatter, the roots.
Really good there. And the exit speed was like too hot pedal.
Yeah, I feel like Tani's due for a big result. She's
feels it.
It's been so good to see her coming back into form this year, getting that consistency back. I think for a semifinal right now, I think the key for a lot of these riders today is like just get yourself into finals, kind of get through the track, let the track kind of come to you as it dries out and gets better later in the day, keep yourself safe, and then be able to fight for it later this afternoon, which is, it's a tricky balance to find. I mean, you got to go fast enough to kind of get yourself into finals, but you don't want to make a big mistake and be out. But it looks like she
looks 1.5 quicker at the second split for Tani Seagrave then. That looked really fast.
Oh, that was quick. That was quick. Around the 2 drops, like super nice. Really good bike control here, and even if it's really hard and steep, and catch that big berm at the bottom. Looking good so far. 1.5 in the green on split number 2.
Yeah, there are a lot more leaves on the track today. Huh?
Yeah.
Fall time is
a lot. Yeah, that's a
in.
win from this morning. It was pedaling really hard, and it makes a difference visually.
Definitely does, yeah. Third in Andorra for Seagrave. She's 3.9 seconds faster.
3. Well, she's on the ride.
And that time of Cabarrus, that's really impressive.
Yeah, she looked good. She looked comfortable, composed. She let the bike play. She don't squeeze the bike with the knee. She don't touch the brake too much or not too heavy on the braking zone. Easy to say from here in the booth.
It's good to see the British riders too. I talked to a lot of guys this weekend and girls, and everybody was like, oh man, it's really sketchy. But it seemed like the Brits were all like, oh, it's sweet, I love it. It's like sliding around. So Tani looks like she's just, I mean, this is a great run for her, but it looks like she's just trying to be solid here, get herself into finals. I would expect even more speed out of her later in the day.
She's been on the podium here.
Lost some time on split number 4 though.
In both the 2021 races and back in 2019, so Seagrave, she's got a bit of form round here.
Surprising not doing the big triple here.
Yeah, I saw her dad on the way up the lift just a few minutes ago. He looked pretty chill, seemed to be in good spirits. Good
tends to be. He tends to be.
Yeah, I'd be nervous, man. I'd be nervous.
Tani Seagrave down the line, second fastest then behind Marine Cabarrus. So she lost time towards the bottom.
3.9. She was on the split number 3.
But for semi-finals,
yeah, it would do.
That'll do.
Interesting one, this track too. It really takes a lot out of you, this track, because of how flat it is, how much effort you got to put in the middle of the track on the pedals. So might be a little strategy coming in there. You know you're going to have to do it again later.
Here's Nina Hoffmann then, on the hunt for the overall title. Needs a big performance in both sessions today. What has the German got in store? Valentina Hohl, just a reminder then, 167 points.
She
She needs from 2 sessions to stay away from the maximum scoreable by this woman. So Nina Hoffmann really just needs to charge today.
Oh, carrying a lot of speed there at the top part of the track.
Looking fast.
We just talked about trying to maybe save some energy in semis, and Nina's unfortunately in a position here where
you see that?
yeah.
On the rock.
I saw that rock.
No, I saw milk, like going
The
out of the
sealant,
sealant, going out of the
sealant,
top.
maybe. Let's have a look.
Bit.
Oh no!
Oh boy.
Hoffmann's down. Hoffmann's down at the top of the woods.
Straight into the tree up. She's okay.
Good to see her back up.
Yeah.
She's back up, she's moving. Just need to get a look at the rear tyre in that Santa Cruz V10 if it's held up. Cedric, I saw that puff of sealant as well. 3.2 back now at the second split.
Just a little bit, maybe just a little. I don't know.
Be interesting to see if that crash was after that 3.2 back, or if that's, she could potentially reel that back in here if that's after the crash.
Well, Townie lost 3.6, didn't she? So
yeah, and Nina's kind of in a position where she needs to kind of win every time she's on track. She has to get those points. I guess it's an easier way to race in a way, because you're like, okay, we just got to go for wins.
I was going to ask you that. Is it almost more straightforward?
I guess mentally it makes the game plan simple, but execution is definitely hard to pull.
It's a different thing. 4 seconds back now for Hoffmann.
She still has pressure on the back tire, but maybe she lost a little bit of pressure, because we saw that. I mean, you and me, we saw something there.
We definitely saw something, Cedric. I'll back you up. Hoffmann's so strong on the bike.
Whoa.
And you see how aggressive the entry into that rock section is.
Yeah, she knows she crashed at the top. She needs to get every time she can, really. Like, the points are important. It's a battle for second place with Marine.
So Hoffmann out into the open then. What is the next split going to say? 6.4. It's moving away from her, not just the run, but also potentially the overall title.
Hopefully she's all right. Sometimes, man, you have a crash, especially here. There's so many rocks. You crash and kind of.
No,
that's a big one.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah,
Different
maybe
option.
you twist a finger or do something, and you just pick the bike up so fast, and you take off, and then maybe a minute later, you're like, oh man, I'm hurting now. Having a hard time holding on.
That was not the run she wanted. Nina Hoffmann crosses the line into 6.2 back. She is protected, but she needed maximum points from that session to keep the pressure on Hohl, who is our last rider at the top.
And how hard it is to reset when you make a mistake like this and be able to forget about it.
Yeah.
Valentina Hohl leaves the star hop. There are 100 points up for grabs at the bottom of this one if she can go fastest. She was fastest yesterday in qualifying by 2.6 seconds. But crucially, she left a lot of time on the table in terms of the fastest potential overall.
Not a problem there for her this time.
Looking good though.
Oh, she's quick. She's quick. Oh, the bike's is dancing.
Just kicks out sideways into that horrible big hole, that compression across the road.
Do we know after Nina's run just now, if Valley wins this, is that enough to do it before finals?
No, she needs 167.
Okay, exactly, 167
we gotta go racing
points.
And there's 100 up for grabs. So
yeah, she left a lot of time on the track at the top yesterday. I don't know if she had a crash or mistake. That's nice, getting that drop.
Whoa! Off the double drop. Back end steps out. She's 4.8 seconds faster.
Oh, she's going for it.
Valentina Hohl knows no other speed other than full attack mode.
I guess that's where she feels comfortable.
Yeah, 3 World Cup wins plus the UCI World Champ stripes on her back this season. Fancies adding the overall title to that. We're only in the semis, so plenty more racing to come today.
She's quick there.
She's putting a marker down, Aaron.
Yeah, you see the front wheel, but no problem. She didn't even touch the brakes. 8 seconds. Oh, visually she looks so quick. Look at the bike going left, right.
For a semis run, this looks pretty good.
Yeah. Oh, look at that.
Going up a bit higher there to the rider's left. Looks like it works.
I love the way she controlled the bike with the upper body. She tells the bike where to go. No questions.
You can see the eyes in those clear lenses just looking so far ahead to the entry in the list.
Oh, there we go.
Hole goes down then.
She could still do it.
She can still do it, yes.
Get up, get up, get up.
You have to make sure nothing on the bars is damaged, nothing's broken.
Yeah, but not the best place to come back on the bike with no speed. It's almost better
you get
to
rewarded
run.
with this big pedal now. If she can dig here, I think she's in touch. She's gonna need to work for it.
Oh, she's still in the grade.
A 10 faster, so semi-finals run for the Austrian on the hunt for the overall title. Both Hull and Hoffman, big pull for the triple. You couldn't see it, but Cedric rode that triple in the commentary booth along with her.
That's a big one.
Valentina Hull then heads down to the line to round out the semi-finals session.
Wow.
And she got first.
She
Awesome.
takes the win by just under 7
She's
tenths.
like, really?
She looks okay, doesn't seem to be in any pain. Bike looks all right.
Like she did in the semi-final, she crashed and she's still first.
Right, so we will progress then to the finals later on this afternoon. Let's have a look at where the damage was done by Hull.
Almost home free. That's this track, man. It's right at the end. It's the hardest probably section of the
On
whole
changing
course.
direction there. There we go. That rock.
Yeah.
That rock, just grab it. They grab the front wheel and be like, all right.
Gets tagged by that tree on the left on her way down as well, but didn't seem to be in any discomfort at the bottom of the line, Aaron.
Yeah, she looked to be all right.
Here's the results then. Valentina Holt, fastest. Kabiru, Seagrave, Jonset, Ahern. Great result from Ahern, another 5th. Scarzy, Hoffman, Hemstreet, Krasnik, Vidman. So Lena Hoffman in 7th. We will take those 10 through to the final. Jenna Hastings. Let's head down to Ashley.
That crash. Firstly, are you okay?
Yeah, I think so. It's all right. Just a bit annoying, but still P1, so can't complain. Just trying to get the crashing out of the way for final run.
Exactly, still managed to finish first there, so very, very impressive stuff. We've got the finals to come, and you know you're within touching distance of securing the overall. Is that playing on your mind?
Well, definitely. I mean, I know that I don't need to win to secure the overall, which is nice to know, but at the same time, I want to win the race, so I'll just go and try again.
And in terms of the conditions out there, we've seen a lot more leaves on the ground. How are you dealing with that?
Yeah, it's definitely way more slick than yesterday. I thought they're gonna clean the track a bit more, but well, I think they just can't get behind the leaves, so all good. I mean, just need to ride a bit more cautious, I guess.
Well, best of luck.
Thank you.
There you have it then. Valley Holt, largely undamaged by that one. Grabs herself 100 points in the process. So here are how things break down now. After that one, Nina Hoffman, the gap goes out to 499, and it's looking like a taller and taller order. Kabiru's 3rd, Rasnik was 4th. Camille Balanche 5th in the overall now, injured obviously not here. Tani Seagrave 6th. Blew it. Farina also missing in action after a hefty crash. Anna Newkirk doing herself a part of good, a handful of points. Gloria Scarzy 16th in the overall, having not raced all the races. There is another rider who's been in the wars. A lot of the big names have been crashing this week. Aaron, that man, Jackson Goldstone amongst them.
Yeah, man, it's been carnage this weekend. So many crashes. I don't know if anybody's kind of got out of here unscathed so far.
Well, this man's just been busying himself up with braking stuff on his bike. Greg Menard.
Coming off a good ride at US Open last weekend as well.
Yeah. So good to see him back like this on the box.
Yeah.
Well, we're back at the UCI Mountain Bike Downhill World Cup in Snowshoe, West Virginia, getting ready for the elite men's semi-final runs. West Virginia stretching out in front of us. Absolutely beautiful. It has been extremely foggy and wet all week, but the last couple of days it's turned sunny, if a tad autumnal. A lot of leaves falling overnight on the track, making things even more visually complicated for these riders already. Here are the standings then in the overall. Loic Bruni now leads Jackson Goldstone. Lars Vergier's 3rd. Finn Isles 4th place. Benoit Coulange missing with a broken scaphoid. Then it's Cole, Deprella, Brosnan, Greenland, Kerr. We've had 6 races and 6 different winners this season. Absolute vintage, Aaron, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know that that's ever happened, has it?
I'm going to go with no.
Probably not. No. Yeah, crazy. It's what we love to see, man. Competition's awesome.
Okay, Nico Mullally then will get us underway in the semi-finals very, very shortly. Antoine Roche is in there, Dante Silver, Jackson Connolly, Harry Malloy, Roger Vieira, Adrian Day, another visiting enduro rider, Seth Sherlock, not bad on an enduro bike himself, Matt Walker, Richie Rude, surprise package enduro World Cup winner. Then Phil Atwell, Luke Meyer-Smith is back, seemingly indestructible. Ethan Crick is in there as well as Chris Grice, going well on home turf. Then Ollie Davis, then the GOAT himself, Greg Menard, Lucas Shaw, dark horse for the day, many people's favourite. Jordan Williams, Finn Isles, protected. Andreas Kolb, is protected as well. Terry On, Inigay, Ronan Dunn loves this place. Jack Piercy, superb yesterday. Goldstone, Hart, Vergier, O'Callaghan, what a session from that man. Norton, Kerr, Greenland and Bruni. Laurie Greenland, a lot of people talking about him, Cedric.
Yeah, he looked good on the track, like you say. Maybe like similar than home is going to help.
And fully recovered. He wasn't well in Leger, didn't race in the finals. He said his stomach bug, it was a week and a half, 2 weeks long, but we are racing here. Nico Mullally gets us underway here at the UCI Downhill World Cup in West Virginia, and fittingly it is a US rider first out of the traps in the elite men's semi-final.
Come on, boy. Nico's coming off of a huge injury. He can barely walk, but he's on his bike. Big surgery, a lot of time off the bike the last few months. I think it was like a complete broken hip, pelvis, some like big injury from back in March. Good to see him back on track. I know this is one of his favorite tracks. He grew up racing here. Got a ton of friends and family here.
He's made a legion of followers the world over with the bike geeks of the earth, hasn't he? With his framework set up and riding the aluminium front triangle and the carbon fiber rear triangle, and they're hoping to sell some frames next year to young up and coming racers, and has the bike part that he's put so much energy into racing on the East Coast. He just a great servant of the sport, isn't he?
Yeah, this boy doesn't know how to sit still. He got his own bike brand, got his team, got bike parks, got all kinds of stuff going on. He's been, yeah, man, a great, incredible ambassador for the sport here in the U.S. Done so much for U.S. racing. Him and his brother run a race series here. Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, and he can still do that on a race bike as well. Finds time to go as fast as the best of them.
Yeah, that's what impressive with him. He's always so good on the bike, and I always follow him. He's, like you say, I don't know where he finds the time to do all this, the passion, and it's just incredible.
Well, Aaron, John Lawler has just texted me to confirm 1995, different winner every round. Shows what we know.
Of course he knows.
Yeah, of course he knows.
Yeah, crazy, man. Yeah, and there's few guys on the planet that I feel like can ride flat, sketchy rocks.
Oh, you see that?
Just as you say that.
I was just going to say, as committed as Nico.
Well, like, he proved it there. He didn't let it go. It's just like...
Yeah. And that is just reaction time and strength, isn't it?
Yeah, that's incredible bike skill to be able to save it once that happens.
Especially at that speed, too.
He was pretty good through the middle, I think, yesterday. Lost a little bit of time at the bottom. I think he has the strength, I think. He's usually such a strong rider. You can see him digging here, but I know that hip and that leg is about half the size as the other leg still, so I know he's struggling to kind of keep that strength up further down the track. Good to see him pushing through.
Yeah, triple to double.
Yeah, and what an accomplishment, though, just to get back to a World Cup after what he's been through this year.
Especially with the hip, I mean.
Yeah, so
absolutely superb. Nico Mullally then heads down the line to give us our first benchmark time then, 3:28.581 in the semi-finals. So Lloyd Bruni was fastest yesterday with a 3 minutes 13.2. So times will tumble as the afternoon goes on. What a story this is. Chris Cumming, Continental Nuke-Proof Factory Racing. 6 years in the making this run. He's qualified for a UCI World Cup, and he's 1.9 seconds faster
on the split
at the third split. Yes, Chris Cumming.
And look how hard he's pedaling.
Family set the team up around himself and Ronan Dunn to take them to the races, and it's just a good news story. You have to take your hat off to this man, Aaron.
Yeah, really cool story. Sounds like him and his whole family putting that team together.
3.4 seconds faster at 4. Cumming not just here to make up the numbers in the semis.
And 53.6 kilometers an hour. Some high speed there.
Heads down the line. That one will taste very, very good. Cumming goes fastest then. 3.7 seconds.
Yeah,
Nods ahead.
he's
That'll do,
stoked.
boy. Celebrates with dad Mark. That's not his dad Mark.
There's a lot of that going on out there today.
That's me in 2 years.
George Brannigan leaves the start hop for NS Bikes. You are.
Oh, he's pedaling all the way into, even in the corner on the first corner. Don't have time to lose here.
George has had some of the most legendary runs here in the U.S. in the past.
Even the drone can't even follow the rider.
Yeah.
Wyndham either.
I hopefully doesn't have one of those today. Yeah, that was...
Wow, he's looking good because it's look, 1.6.
1.6 faster.
Yeah, 54.1 kilometers an hour.
He's got speed, man. I've been waiting for him to kind of have that breakout ride again. He could definitely be kind of one of those top guys if things come together.
Brannigan down the line, 1.4 seconds faster than coming. Clean run for the Kiwi.
Yeah, good run. Be interesting to see what the times do today. I think the track is definitely a little slicker than it was at the end of qualifying yesterday.
Speaking of fast Kiwis, Sam Blenkinsop leaves the start hop.
The man with no gloves. Oh, you have gloves today?
Nope.
No? Oh, no. Yes? No. It's hard to see.
I said
no.
Whoa. I said this yesterday. It wouldn't just be gloves. I will be buying every pad the bike shop has.
It's awesome the way he's taking his foot out, no problem, just to don't break. Look how hard he's pedaling. And the style.
Yeah, the boy's got style, man.
Yeah, 30th here last time out.
See if he throws an air pedal in somewhere.
4.7 back on speed number 4.
4.7 back for Blenkinsop. So we will take 30 through, plus any protected riders outside of that.
Even when he pedaled, it looked good.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a tricky track for him, I think. We were chatting about it a little bit first day, and I think this track for both of us, we were like, yeah, maybe not our favorite. It's a tricky one.
Lawler's been back on again. He says 2003 as well. Different winner every round. You raced that. You have no excuse.
Yeah.
Were you one of those winners?
Sorry?
Were you one of those winners?
No.
Come on.
Yeah, at least I know. If not, I will remember.
Brooke McDonald then for MS Mondraker on course in the semi-finals.
I love the way Brooke is, always have a hard gear.
He's found some time between 3 and 4 as well, the Kiwi. 2.2 back now for Brookie.
What an amazing story as well. After a big crash, be able to come back at such a good speed. It's just unbelievable.
Nearly 55 kilometers an hour through the woods.
Another kid had to learn how to walk again, get back on the bike. Crazy what he's been able to do and come back these last few years.
Brooke McDonald, one of the heroes of the sport, down in third then, 1.9 back on George Brannigan's time. So Brannigan and Cumming. Those times standing up nicely. Next up, this man, Jack Redding, had a crash the other day, tore the shin open, ran to the medics, got it stitched back up and was straight back out on the bike again.
I see him every morning try to warm up that leg before he starts because, when it's shaking like this and it's cold, it hurt a little bit.
That's looking good.
Missing his young son's birthday to be here, so he said, if I'm missing my son's birthday, I am not missing a second of track time. I don't have to.
Yeah, he's in great on speed number 4.
He's fastest by half a second as well, Jack Redding.
Amazing. I mean, he have a lot of stitches on his leg right now.
Oh, it's like watching this guy ride in practice. He's always talking to himself, commenting all the way down his own run.
Jack Redding then over the big gap, throws the back end out, heads down towards the line in what he said will be his penultimate UCI World Cup, and he goes first in the semi-finals. Look at what it means to him,
Happy.
Well deserved. That man is throwing everything at this weekend. Next up in the gate, national champion of Canada, Lucas Cruz. The Cruz missile fires for the Norco factory team.
Yeah, another guy seems like kind of due for some of those breakout rides. A lot of expectations coming in.
It's so difficult. Not that it's ever been easy, but such a stacked field in elite men's at the minute.
Yeah, you try to get in that top 30 for finals, man. I feel like half of those guys at any weekend could win a race, so there's not a lot of spots up for grabs.
It's so tight.
Well, he's won his last 2. The Canadian national champs and a BC Cup in Coast Gravity Park. So
speed number 4 was 2.9, I think, back.
Keeps getting better, Lucas Cruz, but he's going to be outside time today. So 3.6 back. Has a look at the rear wheel.
Yeah, no shocker there. It's always a surprise. You feel like you can make it to the bottom of there in your tires. Here we go.
What a good news story this is. Dylan Maples, young privateer from the States.
Oh, it's looking good.
1.5 seconds faster at the third split.
And he was good in that section too. Then I think he's going to increase or not.
Absolutely.
Yeah, 2.7.
Yeah. Tearing the chain off the bike to get it moving forward, yep.
Oh, he was carrying a lot of speed in that tricky corner.
Got a ride for the last few rounds of the season at Commensal Muck-Off.
Oh,
looking really good here. 2.7 into the green now at split 4 for Dylan Maples.
Oh, look how hard he's pedaling. I love that.
Boy.
Oh, he jumped that.
Jumps that
Like
still lands
ski
deep. Dylan Maples fastest in the semi-finals by 2.6 seconds. That was absolutely everything.
Good lad.
Back up to the top then. For Tyler Irvin. Or Jacob Dixon, sorry, excuse me. The wrong place on my timing screen. Young man from County Down in Northern Ireland.
That corner, that jump into the corner, landing into that hard pike, kind of shiny. It's
yeah,
it's tricky. You don't know what to expect on the landing if you get a little drift or not.
Yeah, that's the spot I was talking about. I went over that in the lift, and it was like concrete. And there's one big, loose, like baseball-sized rock right on the line. I was like, oh no.
Like where you want it.
Yeah.
He's on the red on the split number 2, but pretty much in touch. Oh, did he end clip there? How hard it is if you unclip your pedal here to find the clip again when your bike is going sideways.
Whoa.
Right in the middle there.
A lot of the Irish riders really loving these conditions. Very, very similar to back home. Not massive on gradient, but massive on rocks and roots and technical sections. So he's in touch here, Dixon.
Yeah, it's a good ride. Yeah, like you said, Cedric, this is probably the worst track ever to come unclip that, because most of the time if you want to clip back in, you kind of got to drop a pedal so that you can unweight the pedal that you want to clip back in, and you do not want to drop a pedal down anywhere on here. You're going to spike that thing off a rock and have a huge crash.
Especially with a low bottom bracket.
It's gone wrong for him somewhere. 4.2 back.
Yeah, you see that last section through all the rocks, it's basically just like a 30-second long straightaway. So if you're just a little behind on your speed, you're just losing for so long before you get to a corner to make it back up. It really just adds up on it.
That's a good point, because it's a long way.
Jacob Dixon crosses the line then, 8.7 back. As I have got some breaking news in the commentary booth, Cedric, you did win in Fort William in 2003.
Ah,
what?
The after party was too much. He doesn't remember.
After party was too hard. Sorry. Oh, here we go. I win something.
Tyler Irvin then from the USA leaves the start hut as the celebrations begin for Cedric's 2003 Fort William World Cup win. 2.6 back for Tyler Irvin.
Come on, Irv. Super nice kid. Really been cool to see how much work he's put in the last 2 years here in the U.S.
Big rider.
Tall guy, yeah.
Yeah. Pretty much living in Tennessee in the off-season.
That was clean.
Nearly 60 kilometers an hour through the speed trap. Are we going to see 60 kilometers an hour hitting the semi-final here for the elite men? Tyler Irvin comes down the line, roared on by...
Nice.
That's a good ride. 2.2
the American
back.
fans. So Maples leads the way, then Irvin in the second.
I have a question for Aaron. What do you think today? It would make a difference to have a 29 front and back wheel on those rocks?
Ooh, that's a good question, man. If there was a track where I think the full 2.9 could be good, this might be it.
Antoine Roche for Lapierre Zip Collective.
You know who's on the full 29er, right?
Yeah.
Greg Minot?
Greg.
Yeah.
Greg is. He always is.
Yeah. He's a big
guy.
boy. Yep.
He's on leg. He's on leg.
Yeah.
Antoine Roche then.
That was looking good at the top though, like really quick.
Well, you're right, 1.2 faster, so there's a load of time in that top section, but it's moved away from now 2.1 at split 4, so interesting, Aaron, there's definitely time at the top.
Yeah, it'll be interesting too. A lot of the stuff at the top and this very bottom, it's kind of the only part of the track that's actually in the sun. Everything in the middle is in the shade, so it'll probably dry out a little slower than the rest of it.
Second for Roche, so that worked out all right for him.
Yeah, it's going to be tight. I feel like that time is going to be one of those that's right on the bubble.
Timo Lally for Pink Bike Racing. Fast Frenchman on course. Another fast Frenchman on course.
Got the Santa hat.
Yeah.
Christmas is coming.
Yeah, the holidays are just around the corner. I love this time of the year. Big holiday guy. Yeah, my wife always gives me crap because I start listening to Christmas music in July.
Do you?
Yeah, I love it.
Oh, man. There are the beautiful rolling hills of West Virginia.
Is that guy straight that?
Look at this guy. Look at the mustache.
I love it. I love the suit, the hat.
That mustache has been there for a while, man.
Yeah.
That's not new this week. Dante Silva, well, speaking of Americans, this guy has a really, really bright future in front of him, Aaron, when it all starts clicking.
Yeah, such a good kid, too. Always smiling,
yes,
always
exactly.
positive. Love this kid. Grew up racing with him when he was just a little kid. Him and his dad out in race near Vegas, actually.
Well, there's 1.3 he's found at the top.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bit of crisis management in the middle of that rock section, but he's pulled it back together again.
Again, it's still carry speed there when it's really tricky. You see,
come
it's
on.
pumping. That's what you have to do here, like to keep the bike moving, you know?
Yeah, so hard to get out of that.
And you want to exit quick as possible.
Yeah, 3 seconds back at the 4th split for Silva.
Yeah, being a SoCal boy, these are about as foreign as conditions as. But he's raced here a few times. Come on, buddy.
Dante Silva, goes long, wheels down, tucks in behind the stem, crosses the line. 5th place for Dante Silva. That time of Dylan Maples, 3 seconds.
Yeah,
that was a good one.
That's a good run.
But it seems like he has left time at the top.
Yeah, he knows he gave a little bit away right there at the end.
Next up, Jackson Connolly, Team High Country, the Australian rider.
Pretty aggressive at the top. That was really, oh, you see, at the top,
there you
he did
go.
good at the top, really aggressive.
Is it a tricky track, Aaron, in that you know that there's so much technical stuff coming towards the end of it? You try and keep your powder dry, but then you can miss out on those little seconds at the top.
Yeah, for sure. I was chatting with Richie and a couple of the guys, and it was like, man, you probably just like, you almost have to play a little mental game with yourself. Like, pretend that the track ends at that double drop or something, and say, I'm going to race till there.
Yeah.
So that you keep that intensity up the first half of the course, and then once you get there, you just kind of adjust and get yourself to the finish line.
You basically lied to yourself
Jackson
again.
Connolly
into that
goes
spot.
fastest by
That's
800ths
really
of a second.
It was so good on those jumps at the end.
Good to see another Australian going fast, too.
Really, really built into that run, Connolly. An absolute treat.
It's so aggressive out of the gate.
Giving himself the best possible chance of making it through to the finals. Fans enjoying themselves here in Snowshoe. And here is the European champ, Antoine Vidal. What a weekend Comensal Les Ors are having.
Oh, preach on that. And amazing skills on the bike, that kid is. Very aggressive, you see, on his back wheel, pedaling hard. I hope he don't lose too much energy there.
It's his sidekick, Jack Piercy, though, who's right up in amongst it in terms of the quality. But Antoine saying that he doesn't really like the slippery conditions, but he's within half a second. If he can turn the last one green, the rest of the red ones won't matter. Vidal goes down the line. Vidal goes third. A 10th of a second behind that time of Connolly. So already a 10th of a second equals 3 positions.
Yeah, and it was 61 kilometers an hour.
Next up, Harry Malloy, Continental Nuke-Proof Factory Racing, a British rider enjoying the conditions in Snowshoe. 10th of a second fastest at the first split, but 4.3 back now at the third. Malloy done so much for this team in terms of coaching the riders, helping them, the 2 youngsters develop.
That line is tricky as well because you have those 2-3. Like, it's really tight to get in there, especially when you start to lean. And when you're that tall.
Yeah, and right where you want to lean, the rock kind of falls away from you. It goes the opposite direction. So if you hit it just at the wrong angle, it shoots you straight into the tree.
5.9 back for Malloy now, 60 kilometers an hour. First we've seen it today.
We saw 61 just before, Antoine.
Apologies for that.
Yeah.
Good catch, Cedric. Malloy, wheels down. Heads down towards the line, 9th for Malloy, 5.3 back on that time of Jackson Connolly's.
That's quick, 60 now, 60, that's really fast now.
Yeah, especially fast given that we're not somewhere with a load of gradient either.
Yeah.
Leo Grissel for the Les Arcs mountain bike team.
It's funny the way they want to keep, like, you know, to stay really high to make sure they don't, to make sure they carry the speed before those jumps.
1.8 seconds back now for the Gristle missile.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good. He's been looking pretty good in practice too. Good speed through the rocks at the bottom.
Oh, early on the pedals there.
Yeah, this is good. I think this is going to be kind of around where that bubble might be, so he's got to fight here.
Yep, really interesting. In 6th place then, 3:21. Really interesting. We said this last time out, didn't we, as well, how that time kind of develops as the semis go on, that you kind of want to be the right side of it.
Yeah, it's tricky too, because I think the guys that, you know, obviously the later you go down, the better the track's going to be. So if you're one of these early guys that's kind of going to be on the bubble, you're going to almost have to push extra hard.
Just a reminder then, 3 minutes 12 as Roger Vieira leaves the start hut. 3 minutes 12, the fastest qualifying time of one L. Bruni yesterday.
1.8 on speed number 3 for Vieira.
This guy can pedal. Vieira, the Brazilian.
Such a nice guy as well. I saw him earlier this morning, smiling, ready to go.
Whoa. Tags the back end over that triple, 2.4 seconds back, so this could be another one.
Yeah, not afraid to pedal. Oh, pre-jump as well, the last jump.
Ducks down behind the bars. Vieira crosses the line in 7th, 2.7 seconds back, so we are seeing it 3 minutes 20 and around there being the sort of benchmark time.
Always hard when you go back and look at the results and you're like, man, if I just would have went a half a second faster, could have been like 10 spots faster and qualified.
Adrian Day, former Enduro World Series overall title winner. Really super talented rider from the south of France.
It's going to look good here and be good because it kind of the terrain we used to in Europe, you know.
Day is 7/10 faster. He's 9/10 faster.
And he's incredible on the bike. It's amazing to see that guy riding.
Such a natural touch. He's like a mini Nico.
Oh, exactly. For me, it's what it is. Like, it's a little him.
Yeah, riding that prototype Lapierre bike. Lovely looking vessel. Heads down towards the line then. Can Adrian Day go fastest in the semi-finals here in Snowshoe, West Virginia? Runs it out wide. Day down the line in 4th. So he lost some time there, but a 3:19, that should work.
Maybe because he ride in the mud at the last part
saw
of
that.
the track.
Swung out, didn't he?
To cool down the tires.
That'll be it. Yeah, that'll be it. And they're coming thick and fast here. Seth Sherlock for Intense Factory Racing, the Canadian.
You heard that at the gate. Pack, when they switching gears.
Come on, boy.
1.1 up, 1.5 up now at the 4th split, Sherlock.
You see that? He won more. He was pumping in the bike.
Had a little chat this morning. Seth's always in such good spirits, like the happiest kid no matter what.
He's such a nice lad, isn't he?
Yeah, and he's just coming off a broken wrist. He went back, I think he had a week on the bike, raced the last enduro race, and then came back for a World Cup downhill race. So I think he's got maybe 2 weeks on the bike now.
Sherlock down the line and goes fastest in Snowshoe by 0.6 of a second with a 3:18.6. Aaron nods his head.
Ah, yeah. Oh, I love that kid. If you ever want to be in a better mood, just hang out with Seth for a few minutes. He's your man. Oh, so happy for him.
Can't remember where it was. I saw him a couple of years ago and he was off to play Frisbee golf, and I've never seen anybody more excited about chucking a Frisbee around in my life. Matt Walker leaves the start hut for Pivot Factory Racing. This guy probably races, him and his teammate Eddie Masters, they race.
That's quick there.
They race more than just about anyone else on the circuit, do the full enduro and downhill circuits. 3.2 back though, although again fast through that first split.
Yeah, looked like he was pushing a bit up top, getting close to those pads with the pedals.
I love the way they're using that last corner, pedaling everything they can.
Goes deep off of that.
Walker down the line then, 6th place, 2.7 seconds back of that fastest semi-final time so far of Steph Sherlock. So we will take 30 riders through to the final, plus any of the protecteds who have any issues along the way. Heating up nicely here in Snowshoe, West Virginia. There's a man. Does one man need 4 vuvuzelas and a chicken suit?
Of course he does.
Nothing exceeds like excess. Connor Fearon.
That's someone I love to see riding as well. Flat pedals.
I know. I can't imagine riding flat pedals on this track.
Yeah, the amount of impacts coming back through the rock section must just kick your feet everywhere if they're not clipped on.
Must have a problem in the second split because he's been kind of in touch ever since.
So good to watch on the bike, Fearon.
Yeah, the video stuff this guy shoots is awesome.
Oh, there was a video did the rounds on social earlier in the week. I think Matt Stagg shot it with Rage Against the Machine as the track on it, and it was just like, it's everything you want out of a downhill edit.
I know, got a bit of Sam Hill vibes to it. Yeah,
Connor Fearon, cross the line, 21st. 12th season of international racing for the Australian. They have put the effort in. I would give them that, the fans here. They are showing the Leger crowd exactly what America is made of. Joe Breeden, 4 Intense Factory Racing. Aaron's gone very quiet.
I can't help it. I get too nervous when my guys are on the track.
He had a good US Open though.
He did, man. Really close. I think he was within half a second from second, basically.
He
right
was,
behind
yeah.
Dakota. Yep. Yeah, really good ride. Really cool to see him getting momentum back. He's had a really rough couple of years. Big injury last year with the elbow.
Beautiful little gap across there to go set up over the right-hand side.
Oh, no, straight to a tree. We saw a couple riders going wild there.
Breeden, big impact, mid-run, right where you don't want it. It's levers right up on the bars.
It's high, and I know it's still there, but it's all the way.
We go to the bottom of the track. We'll get him a time now. 3:27.7 for Joe Breeden. Bitter.
Could have been a good one. Yeah, he'll be bummed with that, man.
Bitter disappointment for the big man from the southwest of England. Look at that brake lever. That's the front as well. Just taking a second. Windmasters.
Yeah, win.
The back wheel guy.
Yeah.
Good to see this guy back too. I feel like I keep saying this, but man, the boys have been taking a beating this year.
It's a long season, isn't it? Especially with the semis as well. There's a lot of going extremely fast.
Wynn had one of the scariest crashes I've ever seen on that finish line jump at the first race of the year.
3 seconds back in 9th then, so a 3:21.6. We reckon 3 minutes 20 mark is kind of where the bubble is at the minute. Am I right in that?
Yeah, I think that's what it is. 20.
Next up, Mark Wallace for Norco Factory.
You get to see Mark have a good weekend, man. He's a guy that's been on the podium in the past. He can definitely be a podium rider when things are clicking.
I'm well used to the lack of traction where he rides. Extremely wet, slippery, really technical. Super physically strong as well. 3.9 back at 4 though for Wallace.
Yeah, lost a lot of time on split number 4. 3.9 for Mark Wallace.
I think that time of Sherlock's will do well, you know.
Yeah, I think that should at least get him into finals. Pretty confident in saying that, I think. Yeah, I think for Mark too, a new team this year with Norco, coming off of Canyon last year. It's always a little bit of an adjustment period. New bike, new team, kind of get everything dialed in.
Get used to it as well.
Yeah, we've seen that in cross country where Pauline Ferrand-Prévot said really her first 3 or 4 races on Ineos Grenadiers was a dress rehearsal for the second half of the season, and then she went and double worlds win. Gaetan Vige.
That kid, if you link it together, could be danger. Look.
Yep.
There you go.
He just need to.
Oh, inside.
You just need to chill inside line there. He's technical. He have everything, but it's just not going his way sometimes.
Another really nice human being as well. Let's see what the 4 splits. So he's lost 1.8. So
different line here. You see, he didn't jump. He used the bank.
That split between 3 and 4 looking really crucial this afternoon. Big pull makes it.
Oh, a little bit short here.
Gaetan Vij out onto the open piece section then before lining it up for the warp speed finish straight.
It was pretty low speed, like 53.6 kilometers an hour.
Vij crosses the finish line in 13.322.
Yeah, he lost a lot of time at the bottom.
Next up, the big man, Richie Rude.
Come on, Richie.
On that specially developed downhill bike from Yeti. Both he, Jared Graves, Mick Hanna, Sean Hughes. It doesn't get much more intelligent in terms of bike design and experience in designing it. Richie.
Holland deep there.
Won the Enduro World Cup overall earlier on this season. This part will be absolutely no problem for him. 1.3 seconds back at the fourth split for Richie Rude.
Yeah, I imagine he won't lose any time at the bottom. Cool story with Yeti here too. Richie was basically like, hey, I'd like to do some downhill races. So Yeti was like, okay, we'll build you a bike. And a few months later, here you go.
Raced his last World Cup downhill race in 2013, which is unbelievable. Rude heads down towards the line. That one was in half yell. What can he do in Snowshoe? 5th place with a 3:19.7. We could be talking about Richie Rude going through to the finals here, boys.
That would be awesome, man.
How hard he was pedaling at the end. He probably have like 2 more teeth on his
He strips the anodized finish off Shimano rear.
So strong he could win
cassettes.
the arm wrestling contest with both arms tied behind his back.
Yeah, with one of the bears that are knocking around up there. Greg Williamson, not short of strength himself, is 1.1 back at the third split.
Another big man.
Yeah, another rider capable of a big result. Pretty much any race. This year's been a little bit of a head scratcher.
Again, on a prototype bike that they've been working on, developing hard. 2 seconds back at 4th now. So Williamson getting comfy on Madison Saracen. Another rider as well who's done so much World Cup downhill racing. It takes a while to adjust the semis format and the changes that have been made there.
Yeah, it is a weird one, man. The semis are, they create a bit of drama, which is cool, but for the riders, definitely a whole new game. That was a good run.
7th, yeah, that's good from Greg.
Yeah,
3:19.8.
especially 1.1 at the end when he was like on split. He was like 2, a little bit higher than 2 back. That's good.
Well, you can see they're watering the finish area just a little bit there to try and give some traction to get these things slowed down. Austin Dooley then leaves the start hut for Commensal Schwalbe.
Another U.S. kid we ride with a bunch at home, man. He's so consistent. Seems like always in that kind of 20 to 30 range, waiting for that breakout ride.
He's quick there.
That looks fast through there.
Not too high on the jump, squeezing the bike down.
Yeah, this could be a good one.
Dooley, a 1/10 of a second faster so far than Sherlock.
Looking good.
Oh, yes. It's clean, it's fast.
Really, really committed run from Dooley as he dips ahead and gets on the pedals, heads out onto the finish straight. Dooley down towards the line, the American rider trying to displace Seth Sherlock. Dooley goes second fastest, a 1/10 of a second off of a 3:18.8. That should work well for the finals. Phil Atwill from the UK then, propane positive based in Greece.
Another impressive rider on the bike.
Yeah, I love watching Phil ride, man.
Oh,
you look up at his Instagram stuff too. He's always doing like tire taps on picnic tables and
on dyno bikes
like,
as well. Yeah,
the craziest stuff. If you haven't seen this guy on Instagram, go check him out. Like, yeah, one of the best bike riders on the planet, probably.
A lot of skills, different color gloves.
Such a cool style too, just full attack mode.
I couldn't do different colored gloves. I've said it before.
I do on the socks sometimes when I don't find the other one.
That's just you in a hurry, though. Yeah. 5/10 back at 4th. Atwill on the move here on the propane.
It's funny the different speed. Some people are hitting 60, 61, and some of them 53.
Phil Atwill heads down the line then, crosses it in 9th for 3:20.2, right on the bubble, 1.5 seconds back. It's getting congested around that area.
Yeah, it's starting to happen. You got about 10 spots in a second and a half, man.
Luke Meyer-Smith leaves the start hut, got beaten for one of the first times by his younger brother at the US Open, so bit of rivalry there. Out for revenge today, the Australian national champion.
It's sideways here, 2 seconds back on the split number 3.
All good natured, of course. These two really push each other on.
Yeah, this kid wants it bad, man. Every time I see him, it's just, he wants to be up there so bad. I think for him, you know, it's just kind of trust your skills, trust what you got, You know, don't sweat the small stuff. Just keep doing what you're doing. He's got so much skill on a bike.
Super smooth.
Good inside line there. Oh! Lost the front there. We saw a couple riders having issue there, and it's a big tree waiting for you there.
Oh, Meyer Smith down right where he didn't want to be at one of the fastest parts off the track.
Yeah, around 60k an hour.
Around 60k an hour.
Yeah, you kind of can't see it there, but there's like 3 mud ruts right before you exit in that shadow, and if you kind of hit that wrong, it really robs all the speed. Good to see him get up.
That's a heavy one.
Yeah, held on to the bars for pretty long as well, didn't he? Next up, Baptiste Piron. Dorval AM Commensal, another team having a good season.
Is it the green and split number 3?
7 thousandths of a second in that one.
For Piron, lost 1.5, split number 4.
Yeah, so he's gone backwards. And say Dorval AM Commensal soaring highs with that win for Benoit Coulange in Léger. The crushing lows out of this race for broken scaffold. But his teammate Baptiste Piron is on track now. Piron down towards the line. Baptiste Piron crosses the line in 10th place with a free 20.6, 1.9 back. So right on the bubble.
Yeah, you need to be in the beginning of 20.
Wonder where they're from.
Land of the free, baby. Oh, this guy's going fast.
Sebastian Hogan Villa.
Yeah, Colombia know how to send it.
Yeah, I saw him in practice, and man, he just looked good every time I saw him. Always had good speed.
The boss is here this weekend. Chiguero is here, so one of the heroes of Colombian downhill roaring on. The team that have been overseas for most of it.
2.4 by on the split number 4.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're able to ride fast in the concrete and in stairs, I don't think, you know, riding in dirt would be more difficult.
Urban downhill so big in Latin America.
This track's got a bit of an urban downhill feel to it. They're not stairs, but there's a lot of rock.
There's enough rock.
Stairs sideways.
Hogan Villa pre-jumps that then down the line in 12th, 2.7 back on the leader's time, Seth Sherlock. Semi-finals here in Snowshoe, West Virginia, heating up to Enrique Penny, a fast mover on course for MS Mondraker.
Another incredible kid, like always laughing.
Yeah, such a good kid.
Touch.
So friendly. And man, he does some lines, even in Andorra, I was standing on the side of the track and everybody's hitting the same line over and over, and I'm like, okay, that's pretty much it. And then he comes through and just pulls up off of nothing, jumps like 20 feet, and then goes inside. And I was like, what the heck was that?
He's 4/10 quicker. It's working for him today.
This is looking good.
Yeah.
The Enrique Penny, silky smooth on the jumps around the pump tracks, making it work for him through there. Lines it up now, heads for the line. Having a great season so far, the Kiwi. Crosses the line in first, fastest by 0.3 of a second.
Nice.
That's really good. End of the bottom of the track.
In the semi-finals for the elite man.
Good to see him put one together.
Oh, he was checking his back wheel.
Simon Chapelet then, the first of the 3 Cube Factory Racing riders, nails that first turn.
A lot of people start to pre-jump that now.
That's a sketchy roller. I was standing there first day of practice, and it's blind coming in, and people were almost jumping off the left side of the track. It kind of like, you got to hug that pole on the inside there too.
Yeah, every single millimeter being used here in Snowshoe. Chapelet is 2.1 seconds back though.
A little bit of a cold and hot at the top, and now he's a 2.1 on split number 4.
If you're a young rider on that team, given the conditions we've had this week, you would just weld yourself to Danny Hart and just watch and learn, wouldn't you?
Yeah, Danny, he goes real fast at this track.
Absolutely loves the place. Simon Chapelet down towards the line. What can he stop the clocks at? 12th place with a 3 minutes 20.9.
Nice.
A lot of riders giving time up at the bottom. This one's hard because you feel like you're so tired at the bottom and you feel like, oh, I've made it this far safe. I just got to get it home, but you can't. You have to keep pushing the line here. You just lose too much.
Jacob Jewett for Pivot Factory Racing. 1 and 2 Jewett brothers.
Oh, looks good there. Whoa, that was fast. He's moving. This looks good.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. You got to push at the bottom. I don't know where the splits are, but
this is looking good.
Well, that's looking good. No, he's moving. Yeah, look. Look
there
at
you go, 3/10. Load of time at the top, 1.7 into the green there.
Yes, 1.7 on the split number 2.
0.3 of a second for Jacob Jewett now. Can he hold his margin? Down the line.
Oh yeah, it's looking good.
Pre-jumps that, no problem at all. Heads down towards the finish line. Jacob Jewett then goes fastest in Snowshoe. Tahuto Enrique Penny's time dispatched.
That'll do.
That will do. I'd say that would look like him heading for the finals. Whoa. Thick and fast here today. West Virginia. Ethan Craig for GT Continental Factory Racing. It'll be hard to stay away from those celebrations last night. Ryan Pinkerton taking the overall title with 1 to go.
Yep. Another podium-capable rider when he's on it. Had a little bit of a rough start to the year. I think he had an injury. Coming back strong these last few races. Good to see him back up to pace.
Yeah, that's looking good so far. Not going, not going sideways, carrying a lot of speed. This is perfect.
Real good.
Yeah, this is perfect there.
Looking super, super fast. Out on track, Ethan Craig.
Oh, that's a lot of speed. Looking good at the bottom, yeah.
If he kept this clean, this should be a good run.
Craig heads down the line. And what the clock's going to say?
Oh, that's going to be a good one. Because that was quick.
That could well be the fastest off the...
Oh, it's quick into the banners.
Put him back on the track where it's safe.
Yeah.
The amount of times I've fallen over in the pits, clipped in front of a bunch of people, and you're just like, oh no, here we go again.
And you're one of the greatest of all time, man. That's unbelievable. Max Hartenstern, the German, second Cube Factory Racing rider, but most accidents do happen close to home. That's what they're saying now.
Yeah.
Max could do good if he's on a good one, because Max works so hard, and he's, like you say, in a big team. Good. Oh, you see, he's on almost a second back on split number 4 for Max Hartenstern.
Hartenstern, he's been around for so long in the international scene. You can be forgiven for thinking that he's a lot older than he is. Still only 23.
Yeah, and I've been hanging out with him in finale. He's working hard, super nice kid. He know what he want to go.
14th last time out in Leger, starting to head in the right direction. Hartenstern down the line, second place behind Ethan Craig, who did go fastest with a 3:15.5.
Yes.
Nice, yeah, that was a good run.
1.1 back.
And I'm super excited about this next rider, Chris Grice. His times are just...
Chris Grice from the USA had a good qualifying session yesterday.
Yeah, so good to see, man. Chris has had so much hype coming up on that Specialized team as a junior. Was kind of supposed to be the next kid. Had a couple of injuries. Such a nice kid. He's been able to kind of just keep working through it. And I think yesterday finally showed kind of where he should be every race. This is looking like a good one too.
Yeah, 7/10 in touch. So the fastest time from yesterday's qualifying session was a 3:13.2 from Loic Bruni. And we're kind of seeing what we think will be.
You see the way he was in the inside, almost in the grass there.
Yeah, we're kind of seeing what we think will be the bubble at around about the 3:20 mark for the 30 riders going for the finals after this one. Grice crosses the line in 3rd place. Good run for him, nice. 3:17.1.
Yeah, get that thing into the finals. That's awesome.
Might well be enough. On the Gen S Specialized setup. Ollie Davis, what a season this man is having, the big Australian.
Yeah, I've been impressed to see him kind of start coming into form here.
Oh, no.
That's such a bummer to see.
I hope he's okay, because it's a lot of rocks there.
Davis is off the bike.
That's the super tech after the steep section, that long traverse with all those rocks.
Yeah, this seems to be where a lot of the injuries were happening. I think his teammate had a crash somewhere right in there
Here
too.
We see it.
Over the ball. Oh, this hip.
Yeah, right to the hip straight away.
Working, but
SI joint area.
Back on his feet, but here is the big man himself, Greg Menard for the Santa Cruz Syndicate.
Can you do it, Greg? Today had a mechanical yesterday.
Jumps across there.
Nice.
3.8 back though.
Those 2.9ers will be working down here at the bottom in the flats.
Yeah, big wheels for a big man, Greg Menard. Has some time to find though. Flat tires have been an issue for him in the last few races, but it's just that kind of happens whenever you push as hard as Greg does.
Yeah, I think I don't know if I can say this, but I heard Max is working on some new tires for him. I think they got some stuff in the sidewalls, just trying to get a little more strength there to keep the tire off the rim.
Yeah, he's been going back and forth between a proto tire on the weekend.
56.2 kilometers an hour for Greg on the speed trap.
Prototype linkage on that machine as well, trying to get the back end.
Santa Cruz didn't make it easy on themselves. They've got their riders are kind of on the complete opposite end of the spectrum as far as height and everything goes. On
Menard down the line in 14th, right on what we think will be the bubble at 3 minutes 20.
Is he protected? I don't know.
He is not protected, Greg Menard. No. Matt Walker, national champion of the UK, then leaves the star hut for Madison Saracen, 2020 UCI World Cup overall title winner.
Pretty much in touch on split number 3.
6/10 back at the third split.
What do you see now? On split number 4, 1.1, he lost more time.
Love to see this guy get back up to speed. Seems like something's just been missing a little bit watching him in practice. Kind of just looks a little frustrated. Bike, I think maybe they're searching a little bit, trying to figure things out. Really, when this guy's on, man, he's hard to beat. But
yeah, really, really difficult whenever you've got all the riders in the prototype machine and you're getting a lot of feedback and you haven't got that control, sort of.
Got to take a few steps back to take a step forward.
Fourth, though, for Matt Walker, 1.7 back on that time with Ethan Craig. So Ethan Craig's time holding up here in Snowshoe. This man, wait to hear the reaction. That sleeve will get the whole way down this track. Lucas Shaw.
I hope he's okay after that crash in practice.
Yeah, I talked to him earlier. He said he was fine. He looked good, looked happy. I think he was third after the third split yesterday, and he was definitely trending in the right way as he went further down the track. So,
really inside here.
Whenever you look at his numbers, he's one of the riders who really has adopted quickly to this new setup. He goes faster, then faster, then faster.
Yeah.
Most weeks.
Yeah, fitness is not an issue for Luca.
He's half a second in touch though at the last split.
Yeah, this could be a dark horse to potentially win the race later today. If he puts it together, man, Luca's got the speed.
He was 5th last time we were here. What can he do in the semi-finals today? Lucas Shaw heads down towards the finish and crosses the line in 6th with a 3:17.8, so 2.2 back. Drop zone at the minute. Mark Wallace leads that little charge down there.
Surprising to see him lose a little time at the bottom of the hill. Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. Donuts. Donuts time.
Where are donuts? Like,
exactly.
Come
Where are the donuts?
Waters? What is this?
You're the resident American. You should be bringing the donuts, man. We discussed this. Dylan
bring
Levesque.
the smoked meats.
Yeah. I had some of that the other day.
Me too.
Yeah, it's good.
The elk sausage. Next level.
2.3 for Levesque on split number 3 up.
He's on the bubble.
He's on that bubble.
Was on the enduro bike last time out in Châtel.
29 wheels, front and back.
Had a really good enduro ride actually as well. Did ask him, you know, it's a bit of a risk to take with him in the middle of a downhill season. He said, no, he loves racing, keeps him fit, keeps him sharp.
Yeah, it's crazy how those guys can just kind of jump back and forth.
Levesque down over the finish then, 16th, 4.3 seconds back in 16th. So currently it's Wallace Silva is the first to drop in 31st. Andy Cole for Continental Afferton then, 1 in Leogang. His first UCI Downhill World Cup, 9 years in the making.
If this guy, pedaling in the air, probably switching a gear. He won more,
Yeah.
Looking good here at the top, and physically he's strong.
Yeah, told us whenever we walked the track in practice that he's a 10th of a second faster at the penultimate split, so looking good.
Yeah, one of the 6 different winners
the camera
this year.
couldn't follow him.
Still a little bit in the championship fight here if he can really put some things together.
Yeah, just these points, and it's just the smile gets bigger and bigger as the year gets on, as Andreas Kolb gets ready to round off his semi-finals run. Goes second fastest, 0.3 of a second, so that time of Ethan Craig, the first of the really, really big names who've won a race this year, can't beat it. Troy Brosnan, speaking of big names.
Love watching Troy ride.
Yeah, he can ride heavy. Yeah.
Went through a couple races kind of in the mid-season where it seemed like that aggression was missing a little bit. Seems like he's found it again these last couple races. I know he'll just be probably trying to get it through the semis here and into the finals so he can really throw it down. Ooh.
Yeah, a little hard here. 3.4 back on split number 3.
Yeah, he's cut a frustrated figure at times this season. Second in 2021 here in the second race.
Lost more time. 4.4 split number 4 for Troy Brosman.
Yeah, 4.4 seconds back.
Oh, that was quick there, hitting that berm.
Those Canyon collective bikes absolutely silent when they come past you as well. They have those things dialed.
Should be all right for Troy. I think he's sitting, what, 8th in the overall or something. Should be protected in the finals here.
Brosnan down the line.
Lost a lot of time at the end as well.
20 seconds. So Gaetan Vij now drops. Jack Redding's the next man in the drop zone.
On to another race winner here.
On to another of our race winners.
Step by step, he's coming back. He needed it. He needed those vacation. Jordan, that was close there.
Interesting to see how he kind of responds here. Another rider really started the season so strong. Kind of had a little bit of a dip off here in the middle, and
nicely done
really
there.
Smooth through
seems like he's getting that aggression.
Oh,
back
that's
here.
good. Oh, that's quick there. In the inside, keeping the inside, controlling the bike.
7/10 of a second faster for Williams now. He's on a run here in the semi-finals, not protected.
Look like he's back to normal, where he wants to be.
Wants to be back to that scintillating pace of Lenzerheide that saw him take his first elite level World Cup win at the first time of asking.
That was good there.
Yep, 4/10 now at the first split.
Lost a little bit of time, but not so much.
Another man who will be used to conditions like this from the
nice.
UK.
That was good.
Yeah, John Da, I saw a couple of riders doing it in practice.
Making it look smooth through there.
So crazy, the competition. I mean, this guy won the first World Cup of the year, and he's not actually even protected in the finals.
Yeah.
Still got to earn his way in there.
Oh, that was great there. Carry a lot of speed.
It's a tough, tough time to be a downhill racer as Jordan Williams exits that wood section. 4/10, so he's held that margin through the toughest part of the track.
Yeah, he's looking good today. Kind of looks like he's got a little bit of that edge back to him.
He's woken up on the right side of bed. Maybe he's been to the barbecue place already. They might have been open.
No, but clean, no overdoing it, perfect, pedaling as quick as he can.
Stands on the gas pedal, off the big drop, goes deep, tucks down behind the bars. Williams over the line in 3rd place, so 6/10 back, so lost time there towards the bottom, but
yeah, after the pedaling section.
Should be good enough for the big show, that one.
Oh, big mustache.
There's a mustache.
That is a mustache.
Good old boy.
Well, often you see an eagle with a mustache, but Finn Isles leaves the start hut for Specialized Gravity.
Yeah, this could be a big run.
Yes.
Finn needs it, man. He's just in touch on the championship here. He's got to make the most of every time.
185 beats per minute, so he did have the overall points leader jersey earlier in the season, yet to win a race 2023.
Lost a little bit of time on split number 4, 187. Beat by 189.
Heart rate getting close to 190. That's usually right about the time where I feel like I'm definitely going to throw up in a few seconds.
Start thinking about Christmas.
Yeah. Yeah.
Heads for the big road gap then. Finn Isles.
That's a solid run for him.
Looks solid enough to me. 3:16.2 into 3rd. So
there's some time to get on that last
Ethan
straightaway.
Crick has done something special in that bottom split.
Yeah, you got to get.
Next up, Remy Therion, the comeback trail continues.
Had a big crash as well. He had a sore neck. He landed on his head on the...
Never has a small crash.
It was a big one. I saw it and I was like, wow. So he felt a little bit stiff, but it looked good to me on the bike. Look, when Remy is like this, he's dangerous. Look at this. He can have the bike going sideways, dancing, no problem. He's not going to touch the brakes.
Always remains in that attack position throughout, doesn't he, as well?
Look at
Big
it.
triple, 1.1 up Therion now as he exits the final wood section. Let's see what happens from here on down, though, because this is where Ethan Crick looks like he did something special.
Yeah, it didn't look like he got out of those woods.
Yeah, the
as good
speed
as he wanted
51.
to,
Yeah,
but
51 kilometers an hour.
Therion
Yeah.
6th, so yeah, we were right, 1.3 seconds back.
You see the speed, 51. I mean, the fastest speed was 61 today. That's 51. That's 10 kilometers difference.
Inigay then.
Those guys on the bike, Ineguez and Estac, are just impressive the way they're riding their bikes.
He's a second faster at the third split. Let's keep an eye on what that will translate to at split 4 here in the semi-finals. 30 riders will progress to the final, plus any protected riders outside that. So, I mean, it's been a battle royale for you.
Oh, do you have a flat? Yeah, flat tire. Flat, because I could see when he was pedaling, he was a little bit going sideways.
So disappointing for Matteo Inige. Let's see how it affects his time, though.
No.
Yeah, bike squirming about. Miserable feeling that. Still pedaling.
Man, he seemed like he's on the edge of a breakout week and 2 good rides in a row.
Yeah, Inige down to the line then, but still 320.8. So Windmasters, 31st and out. Irvin's next on the bubble.
What a bummer. Like, just at the end of the wood segment, like the big rock garden.
Yeah, the last rock on the track, probably.
Well, we're going to have to take an intake of breath here, because this next rider has really started to call this place a home far, far away from home. As we wait to see Continental Nuke Proof's Ronan Dunn in the Star Hop.
Yeah, Ronan's been fast all weekend, fast in time training, fast yesterday. This could definitely be a big run for him.
Into the top 10 now. Ronan Dunn qualified 10th yesterday. Had his breakout ride here last time we were here, 4th.
Every time I see him, it's just going quicker and quicker. Even in practice, run after run, it's just like more gas.
And the tires are never on the ground.
Yeah.
So he's finding a gap somewhere.
Both axles are never pointed in the same direction.
They probably have to tighten the spokes every run.
Who would be this man's mechanic? 4/10 faster at the first split.
That's quite a bit.
It's a good amount. And he's held it to the second.
Oh, he landed inside of that rock. You know, the rock who could grab the derailleur today.
Grabbed a couple of pedal strokes in there as well. Ronan Dunn.
Love that section here. See what he's going to do. Double drop.
Just got stood up by something there, but nails the double drop.
That line is good there. And you stay inside there. Keep the nozzle inside.
Dunn on a run here in the semi-finals in Snowshoe, West Virginia.
That was good there.
Yeah, silky smooth through there.
Yeah, because that corner is really tricky.
You just kind of feel that fluidity and smoothness is now being married to the speed and aggression. 3/10, super good through there.
Oh, that's
He's got
fast.
a gap here.
Yeah.
Oh, he went around it now. I saw him do a gap there in practice. That's pretty wild. Landed straight on all the big
roots. Sideways midair.
This is where he'll tend to excel, I think, is this technical stuff, man. He just really lets it hang.
Top 3 so far, Crick, Cole, Niles. Can this man get his name in amongst them? Takes a foot off.
Yeah, it's okay. It's at the end of it. Yeah, it's at the end of it, and he didn't lose too much speed.
No, he can pedal.
Here we go.
6:10, so he's made time where most people have lost it.
On a good run here for sure.
See if he can hold on to it.
Ronan Dunn, 55 kilometers an hour through the speed trap, will exit these woods.
Yeah, look pretty clean.
Yeah, that's good.
A good marker being put down here by Dunn. Can he ride himself into the finals? It's looking likely. Ronan Dunn crosses the line and goes fastest by a 10th of a second ahead of Crick.
Really good run.
Just gets better and better, doesn't he? And that's how you want to do it, green the whole way down as well.
Yeah.
Jack Piercy, superb run yesterday in qualifying.
Impressive run. Fast rider, it's paying.
9th for him yesterday in that qualifying session.
Super low
cool.
there and sideways.
Scrubbing it.
Drone shot down here is just superb.
Nicely done there.
It's nice they tightened that up into that big G out this year, man. The last few years, you come in there in the race run, you just always bounce your face off the stand.
You see the steep shot. Whoa. He flooded right to the corner. He hit that rock and exploded the tire. It's off the rim.
Jack Piercy.
Still going. No more tires. On the rim.
Jack Piercy on the rim here in Snowshoe, West Virginia. The tires flailing around behind him, as is that red insert.
Oh, he's rolling into the rocks.
Listen to the noise as Jack Piercy makes his way down here. Never say die. Jack Piercy The wheels off, the insert's out.
Oh, listen, look.
Bang.
Boom, right there.
There you go. It just popped off the side. I don't know if it hooked something maybe on the way in.
Yeah, it's a rock and the inside just went straight into it, into the side of the tire.
And he's finally had to abandon ship. The tire becomes wrapped in the drivetrain of the bike, and that is all she wrote. What bitter disappointment for Jack Piercy. Jackson Goldstone of the Santa Cruz Syndicate leaves the Star Hop. What are you expecting from him today, Aaron?
I mean, he's second in the points. He's really the one that's most in touch with Loic here for the overall. So I think he's been a little disappointed after the last few races, even U.S. Open last week, and just kind of looking at him when he crossed the finish line, I can tell it looks like he might have a little extra motivation this weekend. You know, he's wanting to get up to pace. He's in the championship hunt here. I would expect a big weekend from him.
He's a young man in a hurry, isn't he? He knows that he's got time on his side, but at the same time, he just wants to go fastest every time he's on the bike.
Hard to be patient when you're so close, you know. You can see the championships right there. It's like, all right, let's go get it.
He's in the grid, 2 seconds.
2 seconds faster for Jackson Goldstone here, who is protected, so this is a marker for a race run.
If someone can dance on the bike, it's Jackson Goldstone.
Whoa, having to hang on both sides of the bike to keep it in a straight line there.
Oh, so good to see that. Changing direction really quick, using the berm there, the full berm.
That was fast through there.
Yeah, his technical skills are so good when the track starts to get really gnarly down in here. And as we've seen this year, he tends to actually have some really good splits down low on the tracks where they're the hardest and everybody's tired. He definitely finishes strong.
Oh, double that.
Yeah.
3.2 now at the first split.
That's a good ride. You see that? He ride the side of that rock.
Nice and light on the bike.
Oh.
Do you think that will help him here? He's got that smaller sort of stature than some of the bigger guys like Andy Kolb and can just surf that wave on top of all the rocks.
Oh, he's
yeah,
quick.
I think so. It's when you're a bigger rider, you can carry that momentum. When you're lighter, kind of stay on top of things better. But I think with Jack, he's
whoa. Oh, he didn't go off piste. He stopped.
He did have time to play with, but just got bucked by something and his weight got sent over to the left.
Yeah, and looked like he's looking for clipping. Yeah, tried to clip again.
Right when you think you're home free.
Yeah,
but what I was saying is like he's so good technically. I think his skills really just start to shine as the track gets harder. But with that comes a little bit extra risk sometimes.
Still makes a triple. So, as I say, he is protected. That one won't matter too much. Goldstone down towards the finish line now. This will be a marker for what he can do come finals. What could this time have been if he hadn't just had that little bubble towards the end of the rock section? So 2.1 as Antoine Roche drops down, will not make the finals.
But hard for the point, that's when he went wrong. He lost that. He tried to save that. He didn't give it up right away. But it was just like, you know, when you wheel it sideways like this, in the opposite direction you're turning, it's so hard.
Danny Hart for Cube Factory Racing. It's almost, I mean, he was maybe happier in the wet, wasn't he, than
oh, he looks so good
in the dry down here. But he's won here before in 19 in that title decider where Bruni walked away with it.
Yeah, one of the biggest, craziest race days I've probably ever seen in my career. That battle between, I think it was Loic and Amory for the championship.
Oh, it was absolutely insane.
There we go.
As Hart gets bucked off the bike. Not protected, Danny Hart. So
after those big berms, bike park berms there. Oh, no way.
That's like the hardest place to crash, too. It's so hard to get back up to speed.
Yeah, it's kind of super flat there.
Yeah, so much pedaling after that.
On that prototype carbon fiber Cube, 5.8 back now at the second split.
Yeah, he knows he's going to have to kind of go for it here.
Yeah, 6.1 now at the
he's
third.
looking good, though.
Oh, he's going fast there. He knows. It's not all the way.
All the way over to the rider's left there.
Oh, he's going to finish with even better pads brakes than he had at the start. He's not using it.
Oh,
do you have a flat? No. Whoa.
Yeah, look at all the leaves in there.
Yeah, the leaves. That's why I see the bike going sideways. I'm like, what?
They haven't been there all week, I will tell you that.
No leaves there 2 days ago.
And it's covering all the rocks as well.
So Hart mashes the pedal, 7 seconds back now. He was only half a second faster.
Is he not protected at 9?
Nope.
Oh yeah, I guess that's from last
Loris Vergier. What can this man do? Interestingly, we spoke to Loic Bruni earlier in the week, and he said this is the guy that he thinks he's really racing in the title fight. Now with Bruni, there's always a hint of gamesmanship. There's always a hint of just doing something clever. But Vergier Goes well here and goes well in Mont Saint Anne, where we head to next. And he's fastest at the first split, we can see from our screens in the booth.
Yeah, and I would agree a little bit. I think Jackson's
1.1 at the second.
And he was on the edge there. He was aiming for that tree. 1.1 split number 2.
Goes to that middle line off that drop.
Yeah, the front there. Oh, you see the bike.
So Danny Hart crossed the line, I'm told, in 41st, so he won't make finals.
Inside line here for Vergier. You can hear him breathing.
So good to watch Vergier, but Aaron, do you think that experience will put him right in the title fight?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, Jackson is completely capable. He's a rookie, though, so, you know, it's a bit of an unknown. We'll see where he stacks up. But Loris is he's proven that he's a legitimate championship contender.
7/10 now, faster, Vergier.
Oh, he's pedaling there on the only section.
Grabs a couple of pedal strokes, Vergier.
Oh, it's fast there. You see the bike.
I mean, it feels like we've said this 10 or 12 times, but another man really deserving of a win this season.
Yeah, I can't believe he hasn't won one, man. When this kid's on, he makes it look so easy.
Oh, nicely done there. Oh, what an exit speed there for Vergier.
Vergier, about as fast out there as anyone has looked to me. 1 second. Vergier finding time. Just like Dunn, finding time where most people are losing it.
He's a rider. I'm curious how he likes the semis, because he's had some really good semi qualifiers, and then he has to go back up and do it again for a finals run, and it seems like
is that a mental
he's just
thing,
missing
maybe?
it a little bit. Yeah, I don't know if this new format for him is something that's been a little trickier to adapt to.
Vergier crosses the line and goes faster by 1.9 seconds than Ronan Dunn.
Good speed, 56.6 kilometers an hour too.
Oisin O'Callaghan up next. As we look back, and Loris Vergier.
I think somebody could double off that road. The big sin.
Yeah, bit of foot sand.
Man, big run from this boy yesterday.
Big run, 5th in qualifying yesterday for Oisin O'Callaghan for the YT Mob.
That was nice.
That was really cool. A little bit in the inside, but it was really cool.
What a story this lad's had. Found a place on that team in a global hunt for 300 different athletes.
Super low there.
Looking fast through this top section.
Oh, good speed there on the compression. Good exit speed on that compression. Oh, nice line there.
0.2 seconds up through the top sector for the man who was a junior world champ in 2020 in Leogang.
Yeah, this is good to see.
He's a huge talent coming all the way through. Raced in Portuguese Cups back in the day, 7/10 of a second, I say back in the day, 2019. Beat a lot of young up-and-comers consistently, and had an injury-affected 2022, broken collarbone, broken wrist, but he's back in action now.
He landed deep there.
Yeah, tough one. Another one of those kids, man, as a junior, just so fast, winning a lot of races, a lot of hype, get to elite, have some injuries, just kind of a couple growing years. You know, I think pretty normal if he can kind of get a couple races under his belt. I'd expect him to be right back up there towards the front. Just needs to stay on the bike.
What's the third split going to tell us?
Looks to be pushing still.
Yeah, he's pushing.
Oisin O'Callaghan on that white in 2 races, 2.1 faster now than Loris Vergier.
Oh,
that's a big time so far.
Yeah, he's pushing hard.
He needs to stay on the bike and hold that gap for the rest of this run.
Yeah, keep airing the tires here.
Yeah, too. Oh, let it dip here. Into the flat. Straight into the flat.
Really tidy with his knees as well. He keeps everything in line.
Dude, that looks...
Oh, that's really good.
Pedaled on the way out of that.
I feel like they found a new line there. I don't know if something moved. They used to have to go up by that tree to get the inside. Now they're just going straight into it.
So he's 1.6 faster now at 4. Land Loris Vergier, Oisin O'Callaghan coming of age in front of our eyes here in Snowshoe, West Virginia.
That was good. 56.2 kilometers an hour on the speed trap.
In the heart of the semi-finals for the elite men now. O'Callaghan lines it up, heads for the line, tips her over that. Oisin O'Callaghan goes fastest by 0.8 seconds ahead of Loris Vergier. Matt Walker drops out of finals contention. Next up, Dakota Norton.
First rider, sub 3:13.
Congratulated by Ashley at the bottom there.
Look at 40 land there.
Yeah, he went big. There's
no look like well that bike set up. He just pulled it straight
look,
over.
The fork, like super stiff fork, is not using the whole of it.
Right, Aaron's about to go quiet again. Dakota Norton takes off.
Oh, we just need to get her through.
Oh, nicely done.
Nicely done through there. The winner of the US Open last weekend. And he's in touch here. There's half a second in it.
Yeah, just got to get her through the semis here. Dakota's been riding so good. He's been riding so good all year. Just really had a rough go earlier with some luck and stuff. But man, if he puts it together today, this could be a first win.
Absolutely pins there.
Oh, no!
And the front end just
he's good.
goes.
Keep it going.
Yeah.
That's kind of been the thing, man, is he really pushes those limits kind of everywhere and sets lines up a little bit further outside than most riders, which is really good. But when you do that, you kind of, like in Leger, you get just outside of the main line. Even though you're kind of in where you want to be, you're not kind of in that main groove, and you start playing on sort of that more slippery, loose dirt.
4.3 seconds back, but he has made that mistake at the top of the run, so he's got track to play with here.
Yeah, if he can rebound here, that was nice. He just switched that line up today. He was going around that rock.
Riding that new Intense M1.
Look, you see the work of the suspension there, just like
really aggressive through the left.
Oh, he's going.
Yeah, Dakota always seems to be a rider that builds as he goes down the track, especially in race runs. Really gets that momentum going, kind of stronger all the way to the finish line.
5.3, so he's lost a second, but he's looking extremely fast through here.
Really good there. Carrying a lot of speed, and you hear the crowd.
Yeah, if he can keep this on 2 wheels, get to the finish, I think this will still do it at least.
Yes.
Yeah, Dakota Norton not protected, so he needs to keep busy here.
Oh, yeah.
Different line here, yes.
That was nice.
Oh, that was really good.
Really carries a lot of speed out around that tree.
Yeah, that was good.
That was really good. Yeah, 3.4, split number 4.
So he's bringing time back. What a brave run this is from the American rider.
3.5 seconds back these days with a crash, man. That's a...
Yes.
He's on pace. He's
Look
just got to hold it together.
Look how fast he was through that triple.
Yeah, I'd imagine he could be bringing time back all the way to the finish here, maybe.
Dakota Norton, is this going to be enough to make the big show, to make the finals? Comes down towards the line. Dakota Norton crosses the line in 4th with a 2.898 and a 3:15.4. Troy Brosnan drops in 31st. It's all kicking off here in Snowshoe, West Virginia. Aaron, what a recovery run from Dakota Norton.
Yeah,
you can breathe again, by the way.
That was a big... He didn't make it easy on me. Yeah, I feel like everything's there, man. We've been saying that, you know, for a little bit now. It's like if it can just come together, he's got everything he needs to win one of these races.
Free to go.
Look at the fork.
Look at the hair flow. Oh, he's a beaut.
Bernard Kerr then, BK drops for pivot. Factory racing third fastest in qualifying yesterday.
He's been looking good all weekend.
Yeah, went second here last time out in 2022. Not protected though, Bernard, but he's showing the speed all week which suggests he should make this through.
Yeah, watching practice, first day of practice when it was really slippery, it was kind of, I think they had a rain a few days before that, and it was watching everybody kind of come through, sliding around, uncomfortable. Bernard was noticeably kind of just looked more at ease, like kind of making the lines work.
1.3 seconds back though.
Oh, yeah, that's...
2.7 now, so I wonder if there's been issues somewhere.
I wouldn't expect him to be the strongest up until about right here.
This is when it turns
through the middle. Yeah, this is really where I would think he'll start to excel.
Where it turns ugly. Bernard Kerr over the double drop.
Well, we saw with Norton it's possible, you know, because it's shaved a lot of time at this section.
Skips across there through that right left quickly.
Yeah, if he's not protected too, this is going to be that's a really hard position to be in, especially on this track. You know that you're going fast enough to qualify. You don't want to push too hard and make a big mistake.
What's the next one going to say? Is Aaron going to be right? Will BK have brought time back? No, he's lost another second.
3.7 now.
Yeah,
he's paddling hard there.
Yeah, I'd expect him to kind of just hold it steady here. Try to get it to the finish, save it for finals, and then really let it hang out.
Yeah, could still be good enough for a final spot, this from Bernard. Really straight off that. That worked well.
Yeah,
he had a different line. He was a little higher on the rock there. Looking good there.
Bernard Kerr on the move for Pivot Factory Racing. Team that's getting bigger and bigger. 3 seconds, so he's found 0.7 of a second in there. Just grabs a little sit down there, get his breath before this last section.
Yeah, it's a solid ride. Be able to take a breath after this one.
Yes.
Get it in. It's kind of just such a relief to make it through to finals. Like, okay, pressure's off now. I can really ride my bike. Just focus on going fast.
5th place, and it's still Oisin O'Callaghan who leads the way with 2 to go.
Right where he wants to be within striking distance. A little nod in the head there.
Cool looking kit.
It's definitely a race kit, isn't it?
Yeah, he loves him a bit of moto kit.
You see the transition of the light, and when they enter, how dark it is.
Yeah.
When it's bright out like this.
Laurie Greenland leaves the star hat for the Santa Cruz Syndicate. He was really, really ill in Leger, and he said he's finally feeling like himself again. Was super fast in qualifying yesterday.
Oh, he looks fast. Oh, inside there. You see, he didn't even take the jump. Like the big, kind of big roller.
Greenland was actually in P1 at split 4 yesterday. So he kind of had one of the most...
Oh, that's quick.
One of the most composed runs, top to bottom.
There's going to be a lot of spin on that.
Gaps
right
all the way
corner.
across there. The drone can't keep up with him.
Oh, he was. Oh.
Oh man, that right-hander, there's a bunch of roots like right in the rut, and as soon as you hit him, it slides you in to like square the rut off so hard.
There was a good gap between those top 3 and the rest of the field yesterday. Greenland, as I say, absolutely spellbinding. The top 4 sections, 0.3 of a second, but he's lost 1.1 now at the second split.
Oh, how close they are to that tree.
Needs a big race result, doesn't he, Laurie?
Inside line here.
Yeah, it was such a bummer to see him get sick in Leger.
Whoa!
Oh, hold on.
On clips off the second part of that drop.
Ride the bull, baby. Yeah, it seemed like he had so much momentum going into Leger. He was really establishing himself as a podium guy every race, and then to get sick and miss that race and lose all the points is like, ah, man, but good to see him rebounding now.
Heart in your mouth stuff from Laurie Greenland off that second drop on clips, stabs a foot.
Oh.
Yeah,
See
another
the
rider
yeah.
I'd expect to kind of, especially in finals, be able to hang it out down here low. Really excels when the track gets technical.
Greenland is protected. Oisin O'Callaghan still leads the way here in the semi-finals for the YT Mob. Can the man from Bristol in the UK, Laurie Greenland, do anything about it? So it's O'Callaghan, Vergier, done. What a top 3.
1.9 back and split number 3 for Laurie Greenland.
Yeah,
Ireland
nice.
first and third here in Snowshoe, West Virginia. He's 0.9 seconds in touch now, Greenland.
Yeah, he hit that little double kind of just before the right-hander, exiting that rock section, kind of slapping into it like everybody else was. Uh-oh, flat tire.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Flat tire.
Flat tire for Greenland.
Yeah.
That's a bummer, man. Got to try to get those points in semis. At least he knows he's on pace.
Greenland is not good.
He is protected. So, another Santa Cruz Syndicate bike. Tire problems down over the line, 20th place for Greenland, but as I say, he has already booked a spot in the finals.
How about Ocean? He could potentially win this thing. Get a semi-win under his belt.
What a top 3 we are currently looking at in the semi-finals. O'Callaghan, Vergier, and Dunn. Ireland first and third.
Save.
Oh, terrifying.
Wow. And you see, he couldn't even clip there. He was looking for his pedal when it's super steep too.
What commitment though, but this man, Lloyd Bruni, is beginning to look ominously confident around the pits.
Yeah, I think he's going to be tough to beat today if he has his best run, especially as the track keeps drying out. A few of these guys that excel in that technical stuff that are so good kind of will give a bit of time up on these flatter sections, and that's where Loic's just so strong. He's not going to leave any time on the track in those easier sections of the track.
Yeah, 3 minutes 12 yesterday on a damper track than this one. for the Frenchman. 0.3 of a second, find at the first split.
Yeah, this is championship form, end of the year. These are where these top couple guys really start to
0.3 again at the second split.
You see, different line there. He followed, like he was in the middle, in the canyon.
Got through that turn. I think that was a problem area for him maybe last year or the year before.
Well, memories don't come much sweeter than having locked up 2 overall titles at one track like this man has here in Snowshoe.
I love the way he's like getting the contact really quick. He don't try to stay too much in the air.
You see the way he rides too. It's very calculated, very smooth on this track. When you don't want to push too hard into one of these rocks or kind of have something out of step that could lead to a much bigger mistake and possibly a crash. He's just very smooth. Kind of everything's nice and tidy, keeping the momentum going forward. Not a lot of moving around with the bike.
Half a second, so he's going faster. Oisin O'Callaghan's time in trouble here. Loic Bruni on the hunt for a win in the semi-finals.
I like the way, every time look like the bike is going to hit a rock and lose speed, it just push more and he's back to speed again.
And it's not just the bike that resets itself quickly, he resets himself
And he's pushing with his feet.
Interesting to see, switched up a line there going outside of the tree. He was going inside earlier in the week. I think that's where Benoit had to crash. Oh yeah, this is looking good.
1.4 seconds at split 4 for Bruni.
Those Specialized bikes too, I know from experience, they carry a lot of speed on flatter tracks, man. To get that momentum going, they're
172 beats per minute, 59 kilometers an hour through the speed trap. Loic Bruni on his way to setting the fastest time here in the semi-finals in Snowshoe. Loic Bruni goes fastest in 2 sessions in a row. Oisin O'Callaghan is second, Vergier third. Baptiste Piron drops. Phil Atwell is right on the bubble in 30th. Should make it through by my calculations, but Bruni, fastest in quali, fastest in the semi, maximum points so far. And he just has a different mode, Aaron.
Yeah, I mean, he's been here before, right? He's done this before. I think he's usually the strongest under pressure when these championships are on the line. You can tell by how many world championships he's got. Really find the best out of himself in these moments where he needs to.
Oh, those slow-mo of the tire working on the ground with the suspension, body position, like you say, Aaron, everything is calculated.
He makes every racetrack look like his local downhill track that he knows like the back of his hand. Bruni then wins the semi-finals. O'Callaghan, Vergier, Dunn, Norton, Kerr, Craig, Kolb, Isles and Williams are the top 10. 2.5 seconds faster than Oisin O'Callaghan at the end of it. Bruni there. Great result for O'Callaghan though. Hartenstern, Tyrion, Grice, Walker, Jewett, Goldstone, Shaw, Enrique Penne, Sherlock in 19th. Then Dooley, Greenland in 21st, protected. Connolly, Maples, Vidal, Richie Rude, Frudla Big Show in 25th. Adrian Day, Greg Williamson, Del Levesque. Greg Minard makes it through in 29th. Phil Atwell. And then Baptiste Piron, Inigay, Chapelet, Brosnan all drop down. Then Masters, Grisel, Vieira, Redding, Vige, Wallace, Silva, Brannigan. Britt McDonald rounds out the top 50. Then it's Blenkinsop, Breeden in 53rd after that big impact. Jacob Dixon in 54th. Nico Mullally, our first starter. Fearon, Luke Meyer-Smith for that huge crash. Ollie Davis, another crasher, unfortunately. Kaya Hearn and Jack Piercy blew the back tire off it.
Bummer for Kai, man. He's been riding good all weekend.
Okay. As the commentary support team make their way towards the booth.
I want those guys to play a song.
I actually don't. Here's the schedule. 7 o'clock Central European time will be the downhill elite women's final. Then the downhill elite men's final tomorrow. All about cross-country Olympic men under 23 getting us off and underway at 3 o'clock Central European time. And then the elites will start from 7. But a serious downhill race to deal with here in Snowshoe before all of that happens.
Well, that's good. Seems like we got all the players into the finals for the most part. Set up for a good race.
There was a middle section of that where they were all around 320. That was just, you couldn't take your eyes off it.
Track's drying out.
Well,
good to see. Hopefully we can keep air in the tires and everybody's got to get a full run in.
Stay on the bike.
Valley Hull closing in. Closing in on the overall title. Look at the eyes.
Every time I think of her, I have like this face ingrained in my brain of her eyes.
Like Bruni, also closing in as well. Don't go anywhere. Elite downhill finals are on their way. Live and direct from the United States of America. We'll see you then. Thanks for watching.